indignation. Hear the facts of the points you missed, and oh, you're not even listening. So, slide past the point I'm making. The words ain't of use to you. I'm watching the cold front breaking. You want victory over truth, but the truth is I never did like you. Not even just one touch. You don't believe in nothing, don't you pretend too much. What even makes you like this? What is the point you prove when you convince somebody of something that you know isn't even true? Well, it says more about you than me when you make this about my faults. When you're losing ground, you attack me. Well, thanks, glad you shared those thoughts, and whoa, you're just so insincere. So, slide past the point I'm making. The words ain't of use to you. I'm watching the cold front breaking. You want victory over truth, but the truth is I never did like you. Not even just one touch. You don't believe in nothing, don't you pretend too much. No, this isn't sport, it's a point I dearly care about, and now you ridicule the conversation, tear it down, and your non sequiturs not cute, you use it cause you're losing. Would it hurt that much to be wrong for once? Well, I hate how nobody else sees it. They all seem to cherish you. Well, if I get the chance, I'll seize it, cause I want them to know you like I do. Slide past the point I'm making. The words ain't of use to you. I'm watching the cold front breaking. You want victory over truth, but the truth is I never did like you. Not even just one touch. You don't believe in nothing, don't you pretend too much. This ain't a situation, this is a penny drop. Came to a realization, you're just hearing what you want. I'm rejecting the implication, your opinion's a golden gift. Enough with the indignation, hear the facts of the points you missed, and oh, you're not
Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the channel once again. Whether you're joining us on Twitch or on YouTube now as well, we are back with day 2 of the CCS, and I'm joined for the first time, but Devin CC is back for day number 2 of the Super Week. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing great, man. Happy to be back here again, representing the CoR Showdown here, man. We've got some great teams, some independent winners yesterday, and there is a lot still to be in store today, chat, and I'm excited to see who's going to take home our first victory. Do we have another 5th winner? Do we have a repeat victor for some of them? Is TSS going to come out here with another 25-point ending to start the day off? There's a lot of hope for potential tonight, and we'll see how the day decides to progress here, Droideka.
Yeah, and I completely agree. TSS, as you mentioned, finishing off so strong yesterday, didn't they? They were sort of building into it all day, and just, you can see them there, top of the leaderboard, 10 points clear as well going into this. You have to remember as well, TSS were one of the teams, they weren't a invited team. They've been, they've had to do the hard graft, they've had to go through the previous rounds, and maybe they're just feeling it. Maybe they're just hot and they're in form right now. They had a lot of practice.
You have to run, when those wheels hit the ground and they are full speed, you just keep running until you're ready to crash. By saying these guys have found that momentum. I'd like to see them continue that. WC as well in the 3rd match and last night. Finally found some rhythm, was able to pick up 15 kills in a 3rd or 4th place. And we just need to see more of that from WC, a little more consistency. If they can reverse the roles here on Erangel, which we started off on Miramar, so they should have a better chance today to start off with a little more faith here. If they can put that same momentum back into Erangel, we'll see WC hopefully on the other side of the leaderboard here today.
Yeah, completely agree. A couple of teams from the invited as well. I think Dig, one of the teams down the bottom there as well, didn't have a good start yesterday, unfortunately. Of course, it's not all but over for these teams if they do not qualify today. They do have Wednesday and Thursday, but you want to get through. You want to be top 8 today, don't you? You don't want to be leaving it late if you can help it.
Exactly that. You want to be done and done. After the first few days, you want to be comfortable. You don't want to be scratching your head, worrying about what's to come, worrying about where you're going to play and who's still going to be, on your tail. And some of these teams have created that breathing room here on day number 1, day number 2. Again, it is still pretty close that you're going to have teams that are not, just running away with the competition here. There's still 20 points in between a lot of the distance from this second to third. So there's going to be a whole lot of play still here to come here, Droideka. I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, hopefully we do get a really exciting day. Some of these teams, BHE right on the cusp as well of getting into that top 8 from yesterday as well. Just seeing Baltic flipping his vehicle. That is not what you want at all. You got 2 of BHE, mentioning them just the opposite side. He's on foot, he's running away. Looks like we do have a bit of a skirmish going on already. That's right over in Impala, so you know what, let's get straight over there because it looks like Genesis already on the aggressive play here.
Looking at QP, another team here, definitely on the radar here. Put up a decent amount of points here, and we're looking at these guys now losing one here early on. Major Gurf was one of the rats that we had snake out in that ending
Yes.
Aaron Gale third, and you love it, man. He was such a key factor in the decision there towards the end. There was 3 up for QP, and then they just could not capitalize. Again, off the play, they had the bike, the full send, and then just did not opt to, I think, send it to the right place. But that rat play, there's a player there. That sense of security just goes out the window.
Oh, completely,
and,
yeah.
Everybody plays different at that point, right? So good to see that. Now here they are, and again in a different position here. This time in Impala, looking to potentially put some early points on, but Genesis finally finding their rhythm again towards the end of the day. Another team who slowly started, but eventually found some kills and found some momentum. Genesis picks up 1, and now we'll see who's going to be the victor here, QP or Gen, or is it just going to be okay, you've got 1, we'll see you guys in the later end of the circle here.
Yeah, looks like Nebo's pushing up. As you mentioned, they need the points. Oh, he's missed them completely. Specky, has he got his headset on? I don't think he has. He's looking the wrong way completely. He's found 1, but surely going to get found there. Yeah, instantly return there. I think that res possible if they do go for it quick. Pato and Kyle very disconnected from this, and yeah, Jen going to keep 4 strong there, and 2 points to start the day off is fantastic for them.
And that's the unfortunate part here. You see it a little bit more on the console side where, you lose 1 and the fight kind of deters itself. You kind of pull away from the rest of the fight here. PC,
yeah,
it's a ride or die, right? It's a full send. Okay,
Yeah.
We've lost 1, we're committing. And I feel like there was a time at a point where console was kind of like that. You either threw it all in or you gave it up. But again, we know teams are playing for position, right? We know they have to qualify and they don't want to just play, let's call it balls to the walls here. So, I respect the slow play here, but at the same time, you've lost 2 in pretty much what it's a controllable situation here. You could have easily regrouped, at least defended that situation with Specky finding a knock to trade. Definitely could have went a different way for QP there.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, you do see players sometimes just get a little bit antsy. They, you know what it's like. It's hard to sit still, isn't it, and wait out these zones. But yeah, as you mentioned, when you see teams like K7 who can avoid those fights, they not saying they play snaky by any means, but they are so smart with their fights, and they manage to avoid those confrontations early, which just gives them that benefit going into that later game when you have that fresh armor. It's definitely something the teams should be sort of looking at and sort of learning from.
100%. That's all you can do. Like I said, is take away something from each game learned here, put it back into play for the next match here. There is the best thing about PUBG is that all 64 players come back every round here. So you have that same opportunity, even to challenge somebody who maybe put you down in a previous match. It sometimes feels good for these guys to be able to get that 1v1 one more time and come out on top, so you can know you're going to go home feeling good, knowing that the control is back in your court. So we'll see how these teams do continue to play. We've got SKEU, another team on my radar here. If I can pull up the leaderboard here, looking at where it was before. So they ended up the day a little bit lower on the end, in 11th place here, 15 points only for SKEU. And that's just one of the teams that I really kind of expected a little bit more from, coming from when I left casting, coming back here now. And there's Shane opening up for a few shots, one of the newest additions to the roster. And he's actually going to catch the back tire. He's going to flip RMV, JB, and Pammy. He's going to catch him wide here, and it looks like he's got them right where he wants them. If there is more help, oh, he's in the vehicle. He's got protection. He's got some maybe support coming from the rest of the SKE boys as the RMB stops trying to turn around. But there they are taking shots right in the mix of things here. So it looks like there may be a potential chance for SKE to pick up some early points here.
Oh, I think RMV just about got away with that. I think they saw the set here from Skyline, but they need to worry about Torch as well. Fizz and Mushu aren't far away from this at all. They could get involved as well. Ghost is pushing up as well. RMV not having a good rotate. There goes Benems as well. Takashi up here on the rotate as well. Has to be careful as Ghost wants to get him out. These vehicles, you can see they're taking a lot of damage already. The shots are good. Takes him down to half health with the mini as well. Is going to find the knock. And Styx does steal one away there. So RMV instantly down to 2. And it is those two in the north without the vehicle, without that rotate possibility now. So it looks like they are going to be confined to Graveyard for probably quite a bit this game.
And that's the unfortunate part about, I don't want to call it miscommunication, but about misdirection there. And sometimes it's impossible to do, right? I mean, RMV was in a position to turn around to almost pick up their boys there. And that right there is going to cost them. They can take shots from SKEU. Torch is there in weight. And, no fault to RMV. It's just an unfortunate situation there where now they're down 2 players, and the 2 players who were originally in a rut are now the players that are going to rat it out and just take position here in Graveyard and until the next few phases now.
Yeah, that's all you can do, I'm afraid. Luckily for them, they are sat quite high up on that leaderboard, so I don't think they'll be too worried about one dud game just yet. But it is going to definitely hot up, isn't it, going into these final 4 games for that top 8 qualification spot.
Yeah, and you look at RMB, much like you said, they're not worried. They're not in a serious position where they're and they're crying about it, right? But they did end the day last night, coming in the 3rd game into the 4th match in 1st place.
Yeah.
So the 25-point game from TSS again, that's unmatched, right? I mean, your teams are going to get it. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
But RMV needs to get back. At least after this game, you can't have 2 bad games because that last game, we're not going to call it a bad game, but we're not going to call it as consistent as RMV's been playing. So let's see this team get back on and, see, I think the momentum shift back in their favor if they're going to stay up there inside that top 4.
Yeah, they've definitely got it within them. I'm sure we'll see them come straight back from game 2. But looking for the zone now, most teams have made their way in. TSS leaving it a little bit late out of El Pozo. They haven't lost one. They are a 3-man this game as well. We've got a couple of teams down to 3. M-Force going for a wide wrap round from that side, and Genesis just making their way in on the east as well. Looks like CE. Oh, actually, I've just seen Velton right down the south. I don't know if this was this can't have been a lag out, surely. Looking at the plane we had, surely that was a. Not too sure how he's made his way down there.
He's scooping up some extra points there.
Yeah.
Secret care packs we don't know about that. Okay.
He's going for what was it? Forrest Gump trophy. That's what it is.
There you go. Get them miles in. Get them steps ran. 50,000 steps a day keeps the doctor away. Something like that.
Yeah, in fact, he has left his 2 teammates a bit on their own, though. Baltic and Wizzy, seeing them with EXH sort of swarming around them, lurking on the northwest side here. They have to be careful. Wizzy is back in the vehicle, maybe looking to grab his teammate and try and get away here. It looks like they are down to 3 for this first game as well, which isn't great. And I don't know, Wizzy's just actually moving the other way, but unfortunately, yeah, Baltic caught out on that roadside. That's not great at all, and I don't know what Wizzy's thinking here. He's pretty much got to play as a 1-man for the rest of this game.
And yeah, this looks again that miscommunication. I think the comms being scrambled. You got Wizzy trying to send across as Baltic tries to hold an angle. I get the attempt here trying to split the 2-1, but in a situation where you're already a 3-man, this is a fight where either you take as I think the two together, or you just opt to kind of rotate out. And now he's running on foot, healing behind what little cover he does have. It's not looking good for Dig here. As soon as they get control of EXH, it gets control of these 2 vehicles. It's going to be a full chase here on Wizzy, and we'll start the Halloween theme music here.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, quite right. And it just more misery for Dig there as Ollie finds Wizzy caught in the open. The vehicle's gone. Not much more you can do from that position. But actually, Velton, down in the south, we mentioned him, could have been gifted this zone, really. He has found himself a vehicle by the looks of things and actually has pretty much half this zone to himself. Little does he know, of course. But yeah, let's talk about that shift, because it's gone right down to Los Leones. And I don't know if you've been watching much PCS recently. It seems to always be down this way.
Yes, man. The Los Leones finishes, the city endings have been fantastic. And it's, again, you get to see different levels of play. You know, you got good gun skill, good IQ, as well as good teamwork all in one spot right there. And like I said, that's just not something you get every game. And no disrespect to any of the players, but there's just some circles where it's play by play. You know, you have A, B, and C. There's only so many options you can do. Los Leones, that is a cluster, you know, of just possibilities there.
Yeah, it really is. But you mentioned the sort of height, the road coming through the middle, the outskirts, you know, looking down off that hillside, the mountains looking down as well. It does make for some really interesting circles. I'm sure we will see some here. We will actually maybe just check in with K7. We do have some comms on the stream as well, so let's see how they're doing. Because obviously we know they like to loot just north of here. Let's see and jump in with them just for a second.
And there's kids everywhere on us, to be honest.
I don't have a vehicle, but I can try and run to you in a sec.
Around here. There's more 5s in here, James. 7s too. The 3 back up here. They got bolties up at 5
Try and
stack.
make a run through this trench in a second.
Don't peek 5 stack, it's not worth it.
Have you got people just on 5 stack, or are there people to you west as well?
People west as well, yeah.
Okay.
They've lost tyres though.
I'm gonna try and make a run to you. I don't think they'll spot me.
It's 5 stack, I think you've got to worry about.
Once I get low enough, I should block LOS. He's looking towards you anyway.
Yes, sir.
Where's this kid peeking
Still
from?
under 05
He's in like a
stock.
10-second gap where they can see me. I should be okay.
There we are. So a bit of insight into K7 there. We can see them, you know, not getting too aggressive, just biding their time, waiting for those later circles where they really do start to spring those traps they set up early game. You're clearly aware of CE as well, as you would probably expect. You know, we haven't really talked about CE's position just inside the city. It is a very strong split they've got going on for the moment.
Definitely seems to be working out here for CE, holding control of the 5 stack as well as the opposing there. Is the entrance into Los Leones is pretty much denied with CE there. So that is definitely a great opportunity to pick up a few kills here. The gatekeep, I definitely like to see. Well, we got TSS here towards the outer skirts of the circle here, taking some shots on the SKEU, who's rotating deep into phase 2, phase 3 blue here in just a moment. And we see a lot of teams actually in phase 3. Blue relatively soon, and I'm not sure exactly why this slow rotation coming out, as we've seen a lot of teams doing some great rotations, early rotations here yesterday. Today it just seems like everybody's waiting to see this circle do exactly that, go down south, get out of Los Leones, and I guess now this should help the decision making to start to be a little more precise.
Yeah, I think that's probably a relief for some of those teams, especially those on this western side who've been gifted the zone. M-Force especially will be laughing with the position they have now. But yeah, you mentioned all these teams on the outside. Tweak, once again, EXH having a bit of an odd start here. Although, you know, a couple of points on the board for them already by the looks of things. Tweak, very, you know, not too sure what's going on there. Maybe just getting some more loot, and the whole of BHE are kind of looking his way as well. And yeah, we are starting to see some teams condense into one another, TSS and WC in the north. Interesting TSS getting aggressive on this. I don't know if maybe these shots coming out are for a potential push, because, you know, they need to find a position in this zone within the next kind of minute or so, really.
You know, it's just one of those things. You know, I'm all for being in the blue. You know, blue is my favorite color. Cold blue. I mean, come on, you know. But look, there's just a time where you got to say there's still too much blue. And you know, BHE and EXH, you guys got to join the rest of these guys here inside the zone. That phase 4 is not your friend. That is one blue zone that you can't make friends with.
Absolutely not, no. You want to avoid at all costs, especially with the terrain. It gets so difficult to rotate, doesn't it? I know it does provide a bit of cover sometimes, but you know, when you're in those horrid vehicles, the Morados, it is just so tricky to get through. And you know, but at the same time, the roads can be such a death trap for so many of these teams.
Yeah, you see the choke points being set up, I think, all throughout the map here. You know, whether you take the high or the low road here into Los Leones, there's quite a few teams here ready to take shots directly on those roads. And there's SKEU just getting battered, making their way finally into the zone. A lot of damage being done. And that has already bought the anchor in for BHE. And he should be able to find this first knock, hopefully, onto this SKEU team, buying BHE the time they need. M4 Sprays coming through. He's doing what he can, but Shane returns the shot, stops out of the vehicle, and Zenki is actually able to find the first knock. Second knock coming from the back. Nada does finally connect his shots. Able to land those. Links just about down and out as well, but he's going to be able to pull the first aid off with a little bit of coverage for himself as Hacker gets the smoke out, tries to buy some sort of time here, and BHE doing a great job after looking like they're not going to make it here into the zone. Finds two members of SKEU, excuse me, and then is now still trying to buy their way here into next phase 4.
It's not going to be easy, is it? Your CEXH, NE looking this way, M-Force as well. BHE, you know, Blue actually being their friend for a little bit here. They've actually worked it well here, but they are going to struggle. Cliff looking to pull across the road. I think maybe he's just going to look to pull up soon. But yeah, nice couple of points going their way early on. It's fantastic for them, especially as they are right on the cusp of that 8th spot. So yeah, really good start from them. But yeah, a few shots going back, but just for the moment they are in. But it's still so contested. We do need to go over just north of that because WC and Dub Hub are crashing. Looks like, well, over already. Jesus.
Done and done. WC, what happened there? We missed pretty much, you know, the entirety, but that was a quick clap right there. Dub Hub finally finds some momentum as well. They were struggling all day yesterday, so I know that's going to put some confidence in the bag for Dub Hub there, feeling well as well. Does BHE have a buy? Do they have an entry into this circle? The knock from Zen King will pull that back there as Cliff still buying his team whatever chance he can get there from the compound, or excuse me, from the hillside there to the west. It's really going to take a crash on the enemy. You got Kilo and Jay at the 2-man here, and that's pretty much the only spot for BHE to make rotation in without having to drive past several teams.
Oh, TSS do lose one on that wrap though, but yeah, all these teams, there's nothing really left to play. I'm looking for that central zone. It's going to come down to who is feeling bold. There's that nice little dip just to the northeast of M-Force's position, where I'd really like to see a team try and send it to. That kind of bowl area with that little shack just north of it as well. Be a really good spot to play, but it's whether these teams have the confidence to send that in. Have they done their scouting? You know, looking at these eastern teams from the hillside, do they have the knowledge? CoR, probably the closest team on this left side, but they've got a lot of a hold. They've got a really hard hold here to do as they do lose one. Ollie goes down to K7 as they are walking their way in now.
See how these guys are going to make the rotation in. CE as well, going to be holding their way out at the outskirts of Los Leones, still regrouped there as the full 4. Nice little warehouse to hold there. Is the res is coming through. Suddy seems to be picking them up here. CoR should be able to reset, and then both players as a 4 should be able to get that first aid off and then have a plan of attack here towards K7. But there's BHE in the backfield. They do end up going down and out there. B-More, Nada, Cliff bought themselves some points. Were able to find a few, but still can't see the late game here, and that's something BHE has not been able to do time and time again here. And let's see, again, Dub Hub trying to buy their way in. They're getting into it with TSS as JB falls there in 13th for RMV. It's Dub Hub surrounding Linkadox inside the smoke. Link will find one, but not before the brigade of Dub Hub finds the remaining player of TSS. 3 teams down and out, 11 remaining, as we finally have some teams and some players starting to get active here.
Yeah, what a start from Dub Hub as well. 8 kills on the board as well, and they have a really good position to work with if they can hold on to this. And you know, from their performance yesterday, one of our invited teams, so you know, maybe a little rusty coming in. They haven't had as much practice as some of these other teams, as we said, TSS Skyline, but they are making it count now. They are climbing up that leaderboard surely and steadily here. But apart from that, I think that's mainly the fight's done. It's all on Kilo. We can see down here, EXH are trying to isolate him. They know they've got Jay knocked. I don't know whether they've been reading the kill feed and know it's just this one member up, though.
And the thing is, like I said, I think BHE did try to crash here, tries to make the play, but EXH lurking there over the top pretty much leaves them no room to do so here. There's no chance you can defend the compound and defend your back here at the same time. So, you know, it's unfortunate that we were able to fall out there. And it looks like Kilo to fall next. Will go down in 11th, giving 1 kill to M-Force, who actually had the knock on to Jade. Not even going to give the kill to EXH. So that was a nice little play coming out here from M-Force. I didn't even think that they had any intentions of getting in that fight, but well played, M-Force.
Yeah, GG's. Again, one of those teams who really, I think they were top of the group coming in through the open qualifiers round of 32, so deservedly in this competition and have a really good spot to work with here. They're still very focused on Skyline by the looks of things, but just focusing back over towards this K7 core engagement. K7 have lost one, of course, here, but it looks like they're turning their attention maybe towards CE's position, as they have found one of them. Wheelix gets knocked, very disconnected from the team, although it looks like Peak is sending it over to try and get that res as soon as he can. K7 just about inside the zone for the moment, but without the numbers advantage and almost, you know, within sight of CE as well. You've got to be careful you do not get sandwiched here.
Maybe a good opportunity here. Do we have CoR and K7? We get like a both com, give like a half K7, half CoR com here. See who's going to take the cake here. I mean, we got a nice little fight here. Both players, you know, playing very, very passive aggressive here. They definitely found some knocks. They definitely found the attention, but both players, I think, are very aware. And there's Genesis, nowhere to go in Torch's house. Torch shuts him down. Gen down and out. All 4 members there in the bag for Torch.
Yeah, really good stuff. We saw Ghost just med in there, just catching Nebo on the outside as they made the push round. They do have a bit of room to work with now, at least. A bit of body shooting? No. Excuse me, no. Just always assume there's going to be a bit of toxicity, but no, looking towards M-Force, who are finally going to have to move out of that compound with that zone shift there. And it has gone, I told you, it's gone around that little hut on the roadside. That's where I want to see a team. Go on, please post up there, someone.
EXH seems to be thinking about it.
With that knock as well, that could be go time.
That is just maybe that's looking good. M-Force down to 2 now.
You can see the sort of range they have here. Looking towards Dub Hub, but they know Dub Hub are confined on that north side. CoR and K7 probably doing their best to keep them out of the action. And, you know, make sure they can't get into the zone here. But yeah, M-Force, Sensei going down as well. It looks like the rest of EXH maybe just regrouping a little bit towards this south side here. It looks like they have made it into the hut though, or are they in? Just about outside by the looks of things, but not far off, so hopefully they will be able to make it in just in time.
So we have ourselves a little bit of a staring contest here for Phase 5. Everybody just kind of looking in each other's direction. Shots are being sent out, but there's just not a whole lot that's really going to be gained here. We did lose a significant amount of teams here in the last few zones, so now we're down to just 7. With 3 phases still to pop here, so teams can kind of slow things down as there is that shift. And EXH is happy about it.
Oh, absolutely. You know, they're probably going to have the work cut out. Surely someone has to contest this north side here. But, you know, CoR are not going to be leaving until they know K7 are dealt with, or at least out of sight. CE, probably same thing. They want to deal with Fizz, who seems to have found his way up here. But the rest of Torch actually aggressing onto M-Force. Let's keep eyes on that in the south. Down to our top 7 teams as well. It's a 2 versus 3. Bosnian, is he going to find Mushu? No, unfortunately not. And he's going to get instantly thirsted out there. 10 kills on the board for Torch, just making sure no res is possible.
Oh, so quick on that flush. I didn't even see him think about using his M4. And there he is down. Ghost, calm down, man. Calm down.
No.
Hits the stack. Ooh, okay, we're going to push him out. Ghost, where's that M4 at? Okay, don't calm down too much.
You know, I'm not even worried about it. Oh, lovely shots onto Sensei there. Fizz does go down. He was caught, but he was watching that slightly different angle, but nasty found as well. Sensei is pushing over. Got to make sure he doesn't get caught in the back, because EXH are fully focused this way. And no, Torch continuing their reign of terror. Do get the job done indeed. Let's go over back to the north, because CoR and K7 finally, surely are going to be forced into one another. The smokes are out. K7 going for that northern kind of area. That defensive smoke wall, just a block line of sight from CoR, is very good indeed. They've got a man down, but they have... The swing is with them surely here. CoR confined to this hangar. There's not much they can really do here.
Kiza almost created his own barbecue there. CoR's doing a great job holding K7 right where they wanted him. Again, the delay is what is going to win this match for CoR right here if they do come out on top. Unfortunately, play zone. No, Gav catches Travis there, busting a little bit of team shots there. Now he's just trying to make sure the flush can't come through. Unfortunately, it does. There's the flush. 2 members inside the door here as Gav's battling back and forth here with Tiro and Kiza. Both teams going to lose 1, but still the numbers in CoR's favor. As Suddy holding the angle, Tiro and Kiza creeping through the smoke. Ali and Suddy just need to rain shots into that smoke. There it is. Ali finds 1. Kiza still inside. Cooks up a stun. Switches out to the AUG. Isn't going to be enough to find 1. He's going to look to find Suddy, but Suddy, with a little bit of help in the backfield from Ali, put down K7. There it is. CoR out on top, losing 2 members now with Dub Hub. CE still with Division and nowhere really to go towards this next zone.
No, it is third-party Central in the north here. Dub Hub have hop-skipped above the CoR fight, but CoR have gone as well. As EXH are now backfilling onto that, they do not want them in this position. They have the nades in hand. Benson Tweak surely going to find Entels through this smoke as well. Dill is just trying to run off, try and see if he can look for this res. He's got 2 in this smoke as well, but Benz has gone around the side there, and he's going to find Dill just like that, and they are just absolutely cleaned straight out this lobby.
Dubhub, every intention of winning that match, and such great potential, great plays. And you know what? When you have 3 different teams with eyes for you, there's just not much you can do. EXH finally finds themselves a nice little play here, and we're looking to see EXH maybe be our first team to do a back-to-back victory here. But there is a full 4 CE, as well as 2 cracked members for Torch here who have just been nonstop fragging out in this lobby. And Ghost and Mushu, their duo work together is absolutely flawless here. So we'll have to see. Out of these 3 teams here, it could still go any direction.
Yeah, absolutely. You cannot sleep on the duo down there. As you mentioned, you know, just do not give them any opportunity to take points off your team here, because you lose one and all of a sudden, you know, this could swing out of your favour. EXH are fully aware of who's down there, and I think, you know, they are trying to just leave them, let them do their own thing down there, just making sure they aren't going to push, and they are now fully focused on CE by the looks of things.
He's feeling the pressure for sure. Greggy is going to opt to stick the res behind the rock. Peak still trying to hold, but Wheelix found by a perfect nade again by Tweak. Tweak has the Groza trying to spray over across the road. Benz as well. They've done that 3 times on the end before the res does come through. So CE back up to 3 as the Molotov cooked up inside the smoke. Unfortunately, nobody there to catch. We'll just buy CE more time to get the heal off. They will lose Wheelix, but yes, here comes Mushu with a cooked grenade ready and waiting. Greggy goes down. Peak somehow avoids getting knocked by that grenade. I don't. Maybe the vehicle, you know, but he's going to stay up.
Yeah.
Still with us too, but that vehicle provided a little bit of cover as Mushu now feels the pressure from Scrub's nade. What's the nade? Scrub's got the shots already from the M4. Now he's turns defense back over to EXH after getting this heal off. Still not going to be an easy win. EXH just walking into every fight, and it looks like they're going to come out on top with the victory. CE falls, Torch there in the mix, and that is it. EXH walks through the end of that map there like it was nothing, from 5 to 12 kills in a matter of 3 minutes. EXH, baby.
Beautiful stuff. You know, the rotate to just stick that north side, not get too aggressive. You know, you look at their position, they were sat in that bowl, but, you know, really, they really made it work for themselves there. They could easily have got, you know, a team walkover to them, but just to hold out Dubhub as they did and not get too aggressive, too committed to one fight, just fantastic play from them.
Could not have done it better there. EXH, timing, precision right there. Accuracy to the utmost right there. If you are looking to work on timing and you want to look on pushes and angles, go back and watch that EXH stream. There is key values to learn from that teamwork, from those comms. That right there is PUBG to a science.
Yeah, fantastic start. And that will just really, you know, that will really help them into these next 3 games. You know, they'll go from that and, you know, that'll bump them up a few places at least. And, you know, they are just going to be feeling hot for the rest of these games now, aren't they?
I'm definitely looking forward to that EXH number, seeing out. Torch, though, as well. 12 kills coming out there. I mean, there is potential. It's cooking. It's brewing. You can't settle. Don't get comfortable. Chat, we got ourselves a battle.
We do indeed. Well, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Our second Miramar, of the day. Don't go anywhere.
This ain't a situation, this is a penny drop. Came to a realization, you're just hearing what you want. I'm rejecting the implication, your opinion's a golden gift. Enough with the indignation, hear the facts of the points you missed and oh.
Right then, guys, welcome back to game number 2. Apologies if there has been a couple of issues with the sounds coming through. Hopefully we should be able to fix that from here. But yeah, going into game number 2, our second and final Miramar of the day. Teams already out the plane. Dubhub and EXH coming straight out the plane. They are not messing around here.
Got a nice little drop spot. I like this kind of plane path right here. This opens up opportunity for everybody to pretty much go exactly where they want to do. I mean,
Yeah.
El Pozo, El Cantara, I mean, are kind of out the boundary for right now. But otherwise, you have a general place where you can go. And if you want to really go that high, you can get a vehicle and ride your way up there. So this is one of those circles we shouldn't see too many teams contesting one another here. But yesterday, time and time again, we had Los Leones with a few teams, El Pozo with a few teams. So we had some surprises here on Miramar. I'm looking to see where teams decide as we have RMV, BHE, and TSS, and a little bit of CoR, obviously in their power grid drop there. Really, really close in contention for one another. Oh, and as I talk about CoR, Travis, he's gonna make some early mistakes here. He must have hit the radio tower there coming down in that parachute.
You know what? I'm going to go straight into their comms. Let's see what they have to say about that.
Every time.
I told you it was a fucking sound like that.
I was making sure something didn't get landed on, bro. I'm a teammate.
What, you were there to help him, were you?
I want to go up north.
There's Skyline EU, that's Hassie and RMV San Martin. We're gonna have to do some weird... They might loot around there, no? Fuck. I don't know.
There we are. Not too much to say in the end, though. I think teams have turned off some of the notifications now, so maybe unaware of when we are joining. But we can talk about little engagement we've seen straight away. Genesis once again in a battle with Torch. It looks like Torch already coming out on top.
Liv, you know, Basa is an excellent player here. Now using the shotgun, I'm going to see if he can turn. Was I think one of the only ones to really create some momentum with Game Boy yesterday. So we'll see if he can continue that momentum. Nice shot onto Fizz. Follows up with another one. Goes for the third. Now to go for the flush. Mushu's already there in return though, so he's not able to get that flush. Still holding the angle. Finds another knock onto Mushu. 2 Torch members down from Bliv here with excellent shotgun work. And the funny thing is, he's got a scar.
He's
to
had
work
that the whole time.
Chose to use the shotgun. Bliv, you just got some respect for me, brother.
That is disgusting. Yeah, I thought, oh god, is he down and out? But no, he didn't even need the scar. That's how good he is.
That was absolutely amazing to watch. I watched him do some plays yesterday, and I was like, Bliv, hello? Like, but pulling out the shotgun, you know, getting revenge for Nebo, that right there is a well-deserved pat on the back right there.
It is, and it looks like the rest of Torch probably still going to stay aggressive. I thought maybe they'd try and get away, but they are not a team to shy away from a fight. Game Boy and Mess clearly aware that they are around here somewhere. Have a little bit of info. You can see Ghost taking some shots there as well.
Ooh, that is some decent shots with that red dot. I mean, a lot more confident than I'd ever been. Some of these sprays, man, you just have to throw respect on these players' names. That is a 100 to 200 meter yard spray with a red dot scope right here coming out from Ghost, making it look easy and making those shots, you know, just rain out. Game Boy with a mini 14 still has to pull his head back. Probably got a 6x scope on that thing, but Ghost is just doing work with that red dot. Still, ultimately, the numbers in Gen. Do you fight this fight at the edge of the zone, or do you wait to play some more momentum? Both these teams are towards the end of that leaderboard. Genesis was at the complete bottom of the leaderboard starting off today, so you definitely want to just worry about maintaining position. Getting to the end game should be Genesis's main focus here. So yes, you got 2 early kills. Now worry about getting yourself into that late game and think about putting points on later on.
Yeah, completely right. It looks like Bliv has dropped the shotgun. I thought maybe we'd see him ride it out to the late game. You know, you do get that confidence boost with a certain gun, don't you? You get a couple of kills and go, oh, you know, this is better than I thought. Why am I not picking this up every day?
I could use this. I'll finish the match out with this. That was just me, man. I was telling Chad the other day, I had an MK12 and a VSS. For whatever reason, I ended up with like 13 kills, and I'm like, hello? Like, I might just have to pick up the VSS MK12 combo more often. I mean,
Yeah,
you
why
just
not?
find something that works, right? And when it works, it works.
Exactly. You know, I just found a nice Vector skin the other day. Just got one of them, so I've been any excuse to try and get that out. Maybe that's the thinking behind that. Who knows? But
You
We'll
know,
have to wait
that's
and
why they
see.
throw these cool skins at us. Here, try this gun. You like the skin here? Just throw it on, pick it up, try it out again.
Exactly. But looking towards the zone, looks like most teams now are on that rotate. 5-6 minutes in, we do tend to see him on the move. Of course, Miramar can be that little bit slower, but it is actually Skyline and EXH battling it out towards the south of El Azhar. EXH not far, have only just moved to this position by the looks of things, and Skyline with the range from across this hill, probably going to look to try and aggress onto this a little bit, knowing that these are the winners from game number 1. They want to probably try and get them out.
There needs to be some early aggression. In EX8, I'm not sure. Marco is just kind of buying time. I think he's struggling to make his way up this hill. We got a very steep hill here, so not an easy travel by any means for Marco. But he's gonna eventually make his way up there to EX. Can I go up here? Is this clear yet? All right, we're good. Marco
Surely he's
finally
left
up.
this late.
Oh, here comes the push though. Skylinks is there. Is it gonna be enough? Is he even aware that Marco's there for the res? He's going to cook up the nade just to be safe, and actually that smoke in the better place to kind of make it a bum grenade. That was a nice place smoke, so it's actually going to... Oh, my God. I lied. Jeez. Sky Lynx with a perfect grenade under the car at the feet of Marco and Tweak and EXH after a victorious match number 1. They've now lost 2 here very early on.
Oh, that's not ideal at all, but they say the most satisfying thing is hitting that headshot with the Car9 with that sniper in PUBG, but I think mine has to be when that nade rolls perfectly under the vehicle for that knock. Oh, it's just fantastic.
That was beautiful. Could not have been thrown better.
No.
Tom Brady, I mean, how you doing? I thought you retired. Jeez.
Let's have a look, see what else we've got going on. Most teams now, on the rotator. Down south it is very congested. It always seems to be for these kind of zones. You either want to come in from the north or the south. Unfortunately, it does lead to these kind of congested areas. M-Force and Dubhub could be the next team battling it out once again. Although it looks like Bosnian and Sensei probably just sending it out a little bit. No, they have pulled up quite nicely, actually. I think they are down to a 3-man once again for this game, unfortunately. But I don't know, maybe they've heard... Yeah, Bosnian has spotted Skokic and Dubhub on the other side of the road here. And I don't know who really has the upper hand here.
Dubhub has to be very, very careful. They're so focused on Bosnian that it's allowing Sensei and Tasty kind of the chance to walk up over the side hills here. There's a lot of ridge, and there's not really too much line of sight for Dubhub to take on to M4, so this could be very, very scary for Dubhub.
Yeah, indeed. It doesn't look like they've got the good weapons, though. Nasty rocking the M16, but again... We've seen what the shotguns can do. Why not rock these, unconventional guns?
Try to switch it up, and sometimes I see the Bolty in play here. If Skokic can just find one knock here, M-Force, again, being depleted in numbers, is definitely going to be feeling the pressure here. They're widespread. That res is going to cost them a lot of smokes, a lot of movement in order to get to. So, again, the first knock here is going to be opportunistic here for both sides here. As again, there's no way to default away from this fight now. Sensei has no way to get out of there without pretty much going back to Tasty. As Nasty may decide to actually regroup with Bosnian here on the other side of the road.
It might not be a bad idea, to be fair. Maybe that's just a bait away. Maybe leaving Sensei on this side just to kind of soak up a bit of pressure. Give Dubhub a false sense of security. But Entels is set up quite nicely here to kind of just watch that cross. Clearly, Skokic looking towards that sort of bar area as well, so maybe we'll come back to this fight a bit later because it's a bit of a stalemate for the moment here.
As we do look, teams rotating though. Dig, NE, QP finally making their way here towards the zone. QP still eating a little bit of blue, and RMV taking their time to rotate this time around. They want a much better game to situate themselves this time around. So RMV still in, making their way here into phase 1. As we have teams like WC who kind of position themselves here towards the coast here, and the best thing about that is they will have to not worry about any pressure coming from the backside, so they're going to take fights on as they come. So WC in a nice little position there, at least to buy some time here, and still also buying time. M-Force and Dubhub just coexisting neighbors. Hey, it's phase 1, guys. How you guys doing? How's the weather? And we'll just be hanging out here for M-Force and Dubhub for quite a while here, waiting for this phase to shift. Is the fight worth it? Is this compound even worth losing the fight or winning the fight too? And the answer is yes, it is. These are great compounds to be at for both teams, and that circle right there is going to take all water out of play and everybody towards that southern end of the zone. Now, welcome to K7 and the powerhouse here. If they can set up right, K7 has a great chance to pick up a lot of rotation kills here.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether they want to stay here or maybe try and move up that hill, we'll have to wait and see. But that zone, I think the teams can, breathe a sigh of relief. I think that's probably one of the better zones you could have got on that shift there. I was hoping we would go really far to that east and maybe see that island come into play a little bit. Maybe a bit of wishful thinking, but teams now can move in. And, we're talking about those teams who rotated late, come around that north. BHE, TSS are beautifully set up, Probably want to move themselves up a little bit as well. CoR moving in, and RMV, you mentioned them coming in late. Don't want to coexist with CoR just yet, but they are being forced back onto the side of zone. But, sometimes these late pushes, as you said, do pay off.
It ends up working out. Sometimes you have the last bit of information, but if there's a compound that everybody's decided to just pass up, and you get it for free, you're kind of like, hey, all right, maybe we should just slow down the rotation here a little bit.
Exactly.
And it doesn't always work out right, Droid. I mean, you get your fair chances where you're going to take that opportunity, but when it works out, you're sitting there with your coffee, your feet up, and now you got a chance to kind of reset and regroup.
Yeah, absolutely. It does look like we do have to fight miles outside, right at the edge of the blue here. NE and Dig, teams who need the points. Unfortunately, Jay losing his life there, but survived quite well into the late game in the previous one. But trades going off, and this is just mutual destruction. No one really benefiting from this too much at this stage with the zone already coming in, and you can see how far they have to move here. It's not going to be ideal at all.
That is one deep rotation as we have a Skittles bag making its way here in El Azahar. I mean, there's just so many teams in the center of that zone right now. Nobody thinking that it's going to hard shift north or south there, as it looks like K7 CEWC about to be in a powerhouse battle here for positioning here, as Wheelik's the first to go down. Pur's still getting to it with NE over there as well, as that fight just finishing its way out. There is just so much happening here in this phase 2 shift.
See, just sending it through the middle here. They want to just continue this push straight through, but they are going to lose scrub on the rotate here. Greggy's pulled up, and this is on M-Force's side of the building, so he's... Oh, God, he has to be careful here indeed. Dig trying to confirm some of their kills, as NE stole so many away from them there. Going down to the zone as well does Velton, but Greggy, the last member... no, excuse me, he isn't. Oh, well, he is now.
Yep. that one changed quick. That was a quick change there.
Oh God, what a push! And you mentioned when you come in late, sometimes you can't scout, unfortunately. And this is one of those situations, isn't it, where you just have to balls to the wall, send it in, and see what you can get. Unfortunately, no team really. Actually, maybe is this a good crash? Because it's in between these two teams. It's almost like in no man's land, just sat in the middle. Can actually maybe buy this team a little bit of time. But with 16 teams still up, surely his days are going to be numbered here.
Did they not hear him pull up, or are they just like...
No, I think they spotted him, but...
I want to say there was some vision on Greggy here, and he just seems to be getting this gentleman's pass here.
Yeah.
Hey, you exist there. Don't shoot at me. I'll let you live there for now, and when the rent's due, we'll talk at the end of the month.
See, this is where we need voice chat, isn't it? Going, we've lost one. If you could just team up with us, keep eyes across the road, we'll deal with them, and then we'll sort it out between ourselves. That's what you want to see.
Chat.
Yeah.
Bring it in. We got good comms coming from the teams here. We got Discord on Xbox. Come on, we can get some proximity chat. I know it's 2022.
Oh, it'd be perfect, wouldn't it? I know everyone's been crying out for it. We'll have to see. Wishful thinking, possibly, but with that zone shift, it looks like they are sending it down into the town. There goes Kizza, K7 out early. Unfortunately, our first team annihilated this time, but already with a few points on the board. So, as we mentioned with RMV, maybe not too worried just yet.
Not a bad day. EXH, though, to go over the leaderboard here real quick in the difference as it has finally updated, chat. EXH pulls into first with that game, 55 total points, 20 squad. Comes into second now with 51 points, only able to find a few points there from that match. And then we also have CodeRed Gaming, who's been pretty much right in that top 3 spot since the start of the day, or excuse me, of the tourney here, with 44 points there in third. Our battling teams here for 4th through 8th are going to be K7 with 43, Torch with 42, RMV sitting on 36, QP with 30, and CE sitting on 25. Such a close round of points there for them top 8 teams.
Yeah, especially when you see these teams rotating. RMV all in one car now, Clown Car in the Mirado. That is a scary, scary prospect. bearing in mind they are doing the same rotate as every other team by the looks of things around the top of the map here, as QP and BHG are kind of funneling into almost TSS's position. This could be a bit of a choke point here by the looks of things in the north.
I like the way that Torch is set up here in this warehouse building here. Not only do they have the town play, so if it pulls into the town, they're also thinking that, hey, you know, I know how PUBG works. PUBG works either town finish, mountain finish, town finish, mountain finish, and they're playing this both end here, so they've got themselves covered for both here. So that's a great position here to play out for Torch right now. Still only as the 2-man, as we did lose 2 Torch members relatively early on to Blib with that shotgun, remember? So Torch is, you know, still trying to capitalize on some points here.
Yeah, and, you know, don't write Gen off just yet. They could actually run into them again. They're set up just outside LSR. It's a really decent position to play. I really do hope, as you mentioned, we go towards that city. I do love a city finish, because that's when you see the shotties come out, the SMGs, fantastic plays coming through, you know, that the height teams on the building, on the rooftops, all over the place. Let's wait and see, but it's all in the north at the action at the moment. Everyone is pretty much settled, and BHE are actually going for a wide wrap here, almost in, well, actually, this could be a send into the compound with CE, M-Force, and DubHub.
Everybody just decided that this is the neighborhood that they'd like to move in here, but BHE, this didn't work out well for them last match. They are going to stop here again. This is going to be M-Force's opportunity here to get involved in this, if the knock comes through here on the DubHub. But BHE, I think, had better opportunities than to pull here. It's just opting to play here. In comes B-More here, and they're now going to take this fight here with the Nana. Finds the first knock. Good shots with the M4. This is going to open up on a Dill. Cliff now looking to get the follow-up. Is going to get that thirst. There's M-Force, I think, is aware of what's going on here. Starting to cross their way. Bosnian should be sending out maybe some information, telling the team to rotate their way this way, as Nasty does have an angle, but not able to still see any visual on any of the DubHub members.
Yeah, Mustang prepping that nade, and Nata, we can just see he's just so good. Oh god, does so much damage to B-More. That one is going to find him. Skokik with the double nade back there, but Mustang taken down to 1 HP himself. This is a very tight fight as well, but Nata is so good with those entry frags. He just does so much work. He's so aggressive, so accurate with those shots as well. But BHE have to be careful, have to try and get everyone medded up. And I think maybe going to be looking for that res, but Skokik does have a bit more utility to work with here.
And in the meantime of all that, M-Force crashed over by WC, who's just taking position over on the other side. Dig taking out EXH, leaving them down to just 1 member. There is a lot of chaos happening again. These Phase 4, Phase 5 are some of the most challenging circles to survive in, depending on position here. And we have BHE allowing the res here on the Mustang, so it's still going to be 3 members here for the DubHub. Once that res does come through, BHE sitting on 3 as well. So numbers equally matched here for these teams, with WC taking M-Force's position. Greggy just existing. It's going to be B-More to lose his life. Nata there for the trade onto Skokik. Now going to go for that flush instantly right there. So that's another player down for DubHub. But in the meantime, Entels walks through the door, able to find not only Nata, but Clift as well.
Yeah, losing 2 members isn't ideal, but actually, you know, DubHub might have been gifted this a little bit. As you mentioned, the fight across the road, their noisy neighbours on this western side are pretty much cleaning through each other here. Sensei finds Maka's going to go instantly thirst him out, so WC do lose one in the process. And WC surely are going to have no idea that Greggy is still looming, and I'm sure DubHub will probably not have kept tracks of where he is in this fight as well.
Top player of game number 6 here, CE Greggy, with the best play of the game here, making everything possible as far as points goes. Greggy, much luck to you, man. We'll see if we can see you inside the top 4.
Oh, hopefully. There is still time. You can see with that zone shifting, all these teams now, you know, with the pull away from LSR, it's actually really smart. You see WC, they decided to kind of creep their way around the side here, opting to stay away from the town, because, you know, with that hillside in the north, it does become really tricky, doesn't it, to stay, you know, to get out of the town once you're bunkered down in there.
Yeah, that mountainside outside of El Azahar is just unforgiving, and there's no cover. I mean, you have, if you're at the top and you're at the bottom, okay, cool, you're not going to see each other. But anywhere throughout the middle of that mountain, you are just asking for to be shot in the back and smoke city. So we'll see how it works out. And Torch seems to be gifted a care package. I'm not sure that they've spotted it. Oh, there's Ghost. I think he's finally got wind of it. But free care pack here with an A-dub just kind of laying out outside the warehouse as Kiyomi makes his way over there. That's going to be a nice pickup for Torch, getting himself an A-dub. And again, being one of the only 2 teams inside El Azahar, I'm kind of weirded out as to why there's not more teams here inside. And again, not the worst choice for these teams to make. Oh, Greggy. Oh, no. It happened. They found him. That's it. Cocky, unfortunately, does a lot more scouting than M-Force. And WC will pick up that free kill, taking out CE there in 10th.
Yeah, a valiant effort from CE, but not too much they could do. It looks like this is kind of caused a stir in the south. Gen have seen this as go time, maybe. I don't know whether they've really got too much intel about what has been happening, because it's been carnage, whether they've heard and locate the shots have been all over this hill, with 3-4 teams already losing their lives in here, but they have snuck their way up. And actually, you can see Game Boy here, they are out of line of sight from the town as well, so it's a really smart position that they've now found themselves in. Now we are seeing a bit of an engagement. CoR and RMV, or what's left of RMV by the looks of it. It's all on Takashi to do something here. Going to try and first Sutty, get him out, get that point for his team, but he is starting to junk really hard, as we can see here. Probably could deny the point, does not want to give this one up, and Major Gurf is looking this way as well. I don't know whether he's aware that Takashi is still in this building, but he's got to be careful that CoR don't spot him as well. But as they do find one, no, they're completely looking the wrong way now.
Oh my goodness, circle just getting smaller and smaller. El Azahar just getting closer and closer. Our team's outside of the ridge here, just really playing some great positions here. Major Gurf yet again playing what he does best there, lurking in the back of CoR. Is going to get the first aid off? No, he can't even find the shots on CoR. I think thought we might get something out of Major Gurf. Luckily enough for CoR, though, they are going to be able to still walk through and take this fight with TSS here. As a nice nade to open up the fight there, QRXZ just unfortunately not in the position as CoR just launching utilities here. I like the attempt. That one looks good for Jimbo. Jimbo will fall. Another to follow, but Traves is spotted out by QRXZ, who's lying in wait there. Gav opens up with the first shots, but no. QRXZ able to turn in the flip of a dime, and he's going to find that knock on the Gav, leaving a 1v2 situation here for Ollie.
Well, he does have his work cut out. He's missed Q there. Yeah, unfortunately just missed him, and TSS come out on top. Beautiful plays as well. Can get this res. They've been very quiet up until now. Have not had much to do, but now they are starting to come into their own. Down to our top 6 teams as Torch meet their maker as well. Skyline walking through them, but also losing one in the process by the looks of things. So no one really with full numbers to work with now. We're down to bit parts of teams with WC and Gen, our only teams really inside the zone now.
This could be WC as well as SKEU's first chance to get themselves. Oh, actually, DubHub too. Is DubHub sitting actually in 9th after jumping 5 positions here from match number 1. So we've got 3 teams here who are looking to finally make their way up into the top 8 positioning here off of this climb here. So there's a lot to gain. Genesis just needs to make themselves in contention. So I'm sure they would equally like to just win this game as well. But if you are WC, SKEU, or the DubHub, this is a game that could change how you end up playing the rest of this tournament.
Indeed, this could be a massive game. All they need to do, of course, they will have those chances on Wednesday and Thursday, but you don't want to do that. You want to have a couple of days off. You want to secure your place early on. You want to show these teams that you are capable of it. You don't want to be seen to kind of really have to scrape through. Of course, we're going to have 8 other teams joining us from tomorrow as well. So, the lobby will be changing, drops will be changing. So the earlier they can get this done, the better.
You got to think, I want to be able to get information, to gather information. And honestly, I was going to mention this in match number 1 because we've seen a little bit of a difference play. I think we had some teams actually do some information scouting, some drop scouting to really change the way they played today, because we see a lot of a difference of a play style from a lot of the teams today, which I respect. That right there is how you get better, right? That's how you end up not making the same mistakes here. So it's nice to see that the console side of things here, it really is winding themselves down, potentially watching some 2Ds, and really just making themselves a lot more of an IQ rather than just power heavy hitter shooters.
Yeah, completely. You have to be good at shooting, as you say, but as you mentioned, if you can do that other stuff as well, you have that you have that knowledge to go with it. You can really do well. We see K7, obviously remarkable shooters, but they just have that game knowledge and circle knowledge to just get themselves into those good positions. Of course, hasn't worked out this game, but it is a very tricky zone as well with teams scattered all over the place. Now we do see Skyline making their way up. Jimbo's got to be careful, very disconnected, just watching the north. I think for now, just making sure no one makes the push up this hill, just watching the back lines for the team. Not a bad position at all, but the zone is slowly condensing down, and this hillside surely cannot accommodate 3 teams after this zone.
Ooh, what a donut right there. That's not going to do too much for these teams. It's going to come down to, again, IGL and the plays that are called here. Mustang pretty much has his day's number. There's not too much he can hope for to cross that road with TSS at the top of the hill and WC with hard-cover compounds there ahead of him. Dubhub shouldn't see too much more of this game. If he does, good plays out there to Mustang. But it looks like we've got a potential top 4 here for WC, Gen, SKEU, and TSS. The rotation and the information is just going to be play slow. If you give out one, this is going to be the third-party fight. Once the fight starts on any of these teams, it's going to then open up that door, because right now it's just stay in your corner and do your part.
Yeah, indeed, and it looks like Skyline are shooting back towards Genesis, so giving their position away a little bit, and this has allowed TSS to just regroup and watch this cross as it comes up here. Skylink's leading the charge. Lingodox is here, going to pre-nade just over this ridge, and it could be absolutely spot on by the looks of things. Surely going to do so much damage. The spray coming through as well is beautiful. Finds a second one, and it's all on Shane now. Surely he can't make it through, and that is clean as can be for TSS.
Done, and done. 3 SKEU members taken out by our top TSS squad here, looking to regain the throne, looking to re-put themselves back in that position. As again, last match they were overtaken. TSS ain't having it. EXH, they're coming for the top spot again.
They are indeed, but Mustang, he's coming for the spot. He's made the move. He's actually crossed that road as WC Dynamics did find the knock onto Bliv or Game Boy, not too sure, and it's given him a little bit of time to work with. I assume WC have seen this cross. I don't know if the smokes were up. I think he might have just run this bare, but I don't know if he can get any further here. The only saving grace is, he can push to Dynamics building maybe. It's the windowless side. That's the downside to these buildings. They do have that kind of lack of line of sight here. Potentially he could make this cross. Let's see where he chooses to go here. Or is he in?
He should get the sound cue. He should probably know that. And actually, yeah, I think he's actually in the position here. Yeah, he's actually in the corner here. So not a bad spot for Mustang to be. And even though his days look numbered, a very respectable play there off the top of the ridge there behind the shack. And using the distraction there of that fight is definitely able to make his way across now.
Yeah, indeed. Fantastic stuff as well. The zone, once again, centering up in that middle. TSS getting the majority of it. And, from now it is, of course, going to center up. So WC will eventually have to make their way up that hill. It'll come out the compound. But you're looking at their position here. If you're them, how are you looking to play this? Are you looking to kind of leave Genesis? Or do you think maybe pushing into that southern position and make your way up the hill from their angle would be better? Bearing in mind, you're expecting TSS to kind of third party whatever you do here.
I'm wondering why we haven't had this potential center, because TSS was just playing the top side of this ridge over WC. Yeah, and I think that the fight right now needs to happen with Genesis before anything else here. But it looks like they're going to dwindle it down. Wait, and again, I respect the patience, but Phase 8 is now in play. Phase 9 ready to be in action. This is kind of that stop go kind of thing right here, hot cold, and it is now time, I think, to start getting hot, start making these moves, and take care of Genesis to then make sure you have one team to focus on. Because if Mustang comes in, even finds one knock on WC, could easily be a TSS victory. And here it is. Mustang does make his move. Dynamic gets the sound cue, feeding over the comms over to Luca, and Luca is definitely going to be able to find this knock as soon as Mustang shows his face. But again, he's going to have to give out and give information in order to get this knock. As he does make the move, spots him out, stuns there, and so are the shots. Mustang falls. Dubhub does everything they can in order to put some points still on the board, but out in fourth with 3 teams still to remain.
Yeah, that is really clean there by WC. The comms coming out really on point there to just confirm that kill and keep themselves in contention here. Now the Snakes dealt with, they know it's Genesis who's going to be the next threat. TSS have really grouped up on the north side here. Don't want to get too split here, because you've got 2 teams watching you, and I think Game Boy maybe recognizing this, going to go for a wrap himself, but Here we go. The dot is in play, and you know there's absolutely no time. As soon as it hits, you've pretty much got to think about moving already.
Yeah, once that phase 9 pops right there, the teams start to feel that pressure. And once you start hearing that bzzz of that zone on your back, man, that pressure starts to really start to cook you. And here it is, that final pressure cooker. Gen with a nice 3 split. I like Genesis's control here in this fight. WC stuck right at the bottom side. They have no real advantage here, but Dynamic says, I don't need it. I'll just find the knock here on the Bliv, open the doorway for myself, and then toss a few nades here to buy myself a way in. And that's going to be WC opening the door. It is just now going to be coming down to, can they find this follow-up knock? And if they do, this could easily be a WC victory. They're comfortable. Their comms are coming through. They are finally, I think, in a place that they feel like they have this. You know, they've taken some fights, and I think they felt like they were going to win them, just hasn't been there. And there it is. Luka re-knocked Bliv as the res came through right back on his all fours there as the knock follows on to Mess there. It leaves it all up to Game Boy here, and then TSS can finally take this 3v3 fight with WC.
Yeah, they are indeed. Game Boy has regrouped, pushing away from TSS. They have now got the center position, but WC, we can see them just taking the blue. The blue is just chunking through them here. The utility, TSS, still have the upper hand, but you can't sleep on Game Boy. He's in the smoke. If you let him go here, this could be massive, but he has been spotted. Surely is going to be found. Oh, yeah, just about. Takes Lingadox down really low indeed. WC actually now medded up. Could not be in much of a better position here. Q has gone on the low ground, leaving 2 on the north. The smokes are out. It's going to come down to that, surely. I don't think TSS have much really... no offensive utility left on any of them, so it's just a waiting game here, waiting for these smokes to dissipate.
Same thing for WC. WC is down to next to nothing here. It is going to be a battle of the fight. Pan comes through, trying to find some damage inside the smoke. Almost connecting here. TSS has these guys surrounded. QRX inside the smoke, but Luke is going to find the first shot. Cocky, then the fall. Dynamic is going to go next, and then it is a 2v1 against Luka as he gets the first aid off inside the smoke. Steps out to find QRXZ, but the shot's just too good from the remaining 2 players of TSS 20 squad with another victory here in match number 6.
Yeah, and 13 kills. I said they'd had a slow start there, only finding 2 kills up before, they took out CoR there, but, actually doing really well in the end and coming off with a massive game indeed. 23 points just to really cement their position towards the top of that leaderboard there, if not still in first place, you'd think.
If a 25 game wasn't enough, there's 23. Are they going to come up with another 20-point game here? Even if TSS sleeps in one game, they're pretty much letting it be known that they're going to match those points. They're going to come through, and they are going to still double it up. So TSS, hats off to you guys here. Even though, some games don't go well, you come through and you find these fantastic games here to put yourselves with 20 points plus. Really, really keeps you guys in great contention. And that's why I think you guys have found first. WC, again, makes their way. They've got 9 kills on the board here. They're being consistent. They're finding these kills now on board. They just need to get themselves fully to a position where they're comfortable, and then they can then take home a victory here. And when WC takes home that next victory, should definitely find themselves over on that top 8, if that wasn't enough already, to at least climb themselves over the top side of the leaderboard.
Yeah, of course, a little bit of catch-up has to be done now, but I'm sure they can do it. We'll have to wait and see. Miramar is all wrapped up. 2 more Erangels left. We'll be back in a few minutes to break down those games and see how those ones go. Don't go anywhere. Right then, guys, welcome back. We are going to be going into game number 3 in just a matter of moments. An Erangel game. Who are you looking to see really pop off in this game, CC?
So if I'm being honest, I had mentioned here at the start of the day, Droid, I'm really looking to see WC come back and give me a different performance on Erangel. Other teams that I'm really hoping for right now is NE, New Era, just sitting on the middle of that leaderboard. They've showed some great possibilities. They've had some opportunities, and I think they've just kind of been in the mix where they just haven't had the right opportunity with the right zone. So we'll see how NE can kind of bounce back and maybe find Erangel to find their rhythm, as well as teams like RMV, who seems to be very comfortable playing Erangel and less comfortable playing Miramar. So maybe we'll see that switch of RMV joining the top spot again, trying to take back EXH and TSS, as both those teams have been consistent. CodeRed Gaming looking to put their way up. But again, there's just a few teams, that New Era, that WC, that I really want to see find themselves here on Erangel.
Yeah, indeed. All of these teams are certainly capable of getting a massive win. TSS really setting the standard here going into Erangels, but it is a different kettle of fish, isn't it? So let's see what these teams can do. Of course, 2 more games left. We do have, if you're seeing the top, we have lost M-Force as well. Unfortunately, can't field a team, so we will be looking to bring, of course, they aren't in the top 8 just yet, so we will be looking to bring another team in from the previous round to play Wednesday and Thursday. So keep your eyes peeled for that, because you may be getting a call up very shortly. Let's wait and see. But looks like we're going to get straight into some action, potentially with CE and EXH in Yaz.
Good thing here from EXH and CE here. CE normally gets their drop, and we've seen this contest happen quite a few times here. Generally, they loot, leave, and kind of work it out here. But CE misses out the vehicle. There's Marco will gain control for EXH here. Option to turn around here. I'm not sure the idea here. Okay, yeah, let's get inside, keep the vehicle safe. You generally want to pull it a little bit further away from where you got it, but I mean, this works.
Yeah, I thought possibly, was he come for the run over? Who knows? But yeah, luckily thought better of it, because it's so easy, isn't it, to just quickly find a gun and really punish a team, especially with those vehicle engagements.
You definitely don't want to be the pistol highlight getting shot out here on the first match,
No, not at all. Looking at that zone, though, let's talk about that for a second. Zone number 1 has popped, and we do have, once again, School and Apps, a little bit of contested area. Dubhub and Skyline actually been pretty good neighbours for each other. We saw a little bit of a fight. I think, did you see some fights yesterday?
Between this little encounter here, there was not too much as far as the hot drops go. Hot drops was not really a thing. We've seen a little bit of contested, a couple fights, for some vehicles, I believe, on Erangel. And then that was about all we really got yesterday. Otherwise, it's just been kind of a stalemate. You look, you take a few shots, we peak. But this is definitely not a fight that I would not expect to happen if a knock does come through. SKE or Dubhub are both going to push. So they're definitely aggressive teams here. And, Shane has already taken some damage here. So, the fights are happening. The angles are there. And if the knock comes through, this is definitely going to be a fight that we'll see. But if the knock doesn't come through, it's going to be one of those, okay, thanks for the shots, and we'll see you guys here again in that late game.
Yeah, and you can see Dubhub, they're occupying the corners here. They clearly want to get eyes on them. But, yeah, is that BHE? Yeah, Nata and B-More not far away as well in J compound there. So you've got to be careful of them. You don't want to overcommit too much just yet on that push. We've all done that push from School to Apps, and you get third-partied from, Ros Hill or anywhere. There's so many different places you can get pulled up on, so clearly not going to be overextending just yet. But I wonder if Skyline, maybe having the zone, will maybe try to look to hold Dubhub out on the rotate here. What do you think?
Well, if I would definitely think about just more rotating it as we're getting closer and closer to the end of the day and towards 8 matches in. It becomes playing about the late game. If you haven't racked up enough points here and you're still trying to play catch up, I don't think dropping hot and losing the fight, right off the rip. And again, that's not to say, who's going to win and who's going to lose, but putting yourself in that position if you're trying to, again, gain points, which Dubhub and SKE you both need desperately. to get themselves inside the top 8. You got to think about the late game, and I think SKEU is thinking just that. Hey, we've got a vehicle, we've got our loot, we didn't lose any, and let's think about moving into this next zone.
Yeah, absolutely. It does look like they are quite preoccupied with a little shack just over on the east side, just north of Apps. And in the meantime, Skyline, we can see them clown car in it, but actually, a smart rotate just out of that position as well. Not going to hang around too long. And being in a decent position means they do pretty much have pick of positions. You wonder how far they're going to rotate in here with Dig already kind of taking, the 4 stack there. So maybe playing up onto Raptor Road, not a bad shout at all, because you can certainly do a lot of work from this position here.
Yeah, this zone right here is just generally one of those more complex zones here. With the Pac-Man mouth there in the middle. I mean, you have the half and half. You got top side, which it's generally 9 out of 10 times we're gonna go to the top. We're going north, right? We're gonna end up somewhere in this northern region.
Yeah.
But on the up chance, that 10%, that 1 out of 10 chances that we do go south here, the water becomes really, really muddy. Everything becomes that much more complex. And I hate to say it for the players, but Droid, I'd like to see a little bit of a southern shift here, possibly.
Oh, I'm wishing for it too. Yeah, I love a good shift to really shift things about, shift these teams back across. Once you've made that commit, and K7 probably a prime example of a team who never really overextend if they have to. They're going to be late to move, I'm sure. Maybe as this zone hits, they'll be looking to come across this bridge, or maybe looking to just station themselves just across in the north, because you can see the congestion around the middle area here already.
Same thing, yeah, for that right above outside farm area here. You've got everybody just starting a group. Nobody wants to play directly in farm. You know how complex it can be once you're in farm to get out of farm. Again, it's a very hard cover. It's a good compound to be at, but towards the late game, if it's not at farm, you're then leaving yourself here in a pretty complex position, as Dig and QP just north of the farm position actually stopped at the same time here. Wizzy's going to find 2 knocks, both Specky and Gurf down, as Kyle and Pato both have to stick this res, go off for the res here. Dig needs to get aggressive sooner than later. If they can get this team out here early on, is definitely going to be a big shout for this team, as Baltic's inside the vehicle trying to go for the drive-by, not able to find the right angle here. He is going to be able to pull up here as Pato finds Belton, picks up the confirmation as well. Quick and clean there. This allows QP the chance to reset. The res for 1 is already good, as Specky's back on his feet. Gurf going to be able to crawl to Kyle. That looks like that res is going to come through as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, okay, that made even better. Fantastic. I was about to say, Dig maybe shifted a bit too far with this push. Losing 1, of course, and losing 2 just like that. All of a sudden, QP have the upper hand now, and this has just shifted. Dig, the pull up in the car, it wasn't really a pull up, it was a pull off almost, just miles away. And it's just left Gazoo completely isolated now, and I think he's on the car, he's on the run. He's maybe looking for a different position straight away, because this compound is surely going to get crashed. Surely he's not going to be able to hold this for too much longer now.
You talk about these new age comedy romance movies here. You got a little bit of hate love going back and forth. I mean, it looked good, you felt it, you thought it was going to go well, and then boom, all of a sudden you find out he's cheating. I don't know what's going on, but it did not look good for both teams there. You had QP, doing his thing, Dig doing his thing. Both players playing fantastically as far as mechanics goes. The nades were good, the shots were good. And you know what? Just this time around, it's QP who was able to, out of positioning, we're going to call it here, the fact that Dig was so widespread. QP comes out on top, solos out Gazoo, and just a well-played game all around there for both Dig and QP. A lot of good shots, a lot of good potential, but there can only be one victor.
There can indeed. Will it be one of these teams that we'll have to wait and see? One team certainly looking for a victory after a bit of a slow start today will be RMV. I think we do have a little bit of comms from them, so let's see what they have to say for themselves here.
What are you saying, Takashi?
He's saying shoot everyone so we don't get crashed because he's AFK.
Okay.
Silly chippy.
Stupid in them. Forex in the Obama.
I'm gonna go CodeRed.
Okay, I'm coming
I
back.
CodeRed.
There we are then. Takashi, the strong but silent type. Just protecting their AFK by the looks of things there as he rejoins there. But RMV, nice little 2-2 split they've got here with that zone push as well.
So yeah, with that phase 2 shifting out, it does take our hope away from that southern island. But hey, that's what we get as being casters. So we don't always get, I think, what we want as far as the zone goes here. These players happy with it. They're definitely not complaining at all. But you see some of the southern coast, and I think this is like the new meta. You used to see those coasts crashed instantly when you found this circle, right? Now those are some of the compounds here that seem to be left out. Everybody's like, yeah, we're not finishing on Shark Fin, or yeah, the Fairy Pier is kind of going to be out. So that right there, I think a good shout for a lot of these teams here as far as the IQ goes here. Really respectable plays here. But now WC not so great on the IQ. Didn't do enough scouting. Going to pull right here onto SKEU. Good shots, though, on the sticks. Going to get him to pull back as he buys himself some time with that Molotov. Oh, dynamic. GG's to Luca. Smacked him, almost sent him flying like that man was a baseball. But thankfully, the wall there to stop him. It's going to be just WC now having to reset for the res. And then taking this fight here onto SKEU.
Oh, just got sandwiched in between the car there and the building. I thought, they came in so slowly. I thought, this is a well-timed crash because so often you do see that Dynamics has set himself on fire as well. Sticks giving this cover from the top of the building, just keep himself alive here. WC so aggressive. I thought maybe they timed it, but unfortunately not losing one just like that. He goes down and it just gives him a little bit of time to work with there, but yeah.
Oh man, like this could have been completely different for WC. I mean, I thought we got our one yesterday, but nope, there it is, another full send. Luca is able to take it. Shane, hello from the other window there inside the garage. As the knock from Luca comes through onto sticks, Shane there for the return, and now the Molotov should find Makaz. It does. Connects, but probably not enough to find that knock. So this should be enough for Makaz to get his heel off. But Lynx here in the back. Key player here. I don't think they understand that he's back here yet. So if they step out to take the fight with Hacker, just may give line of sight here. Nope. Hacker said, I got 1 grenade, 2 kills. GG's WC SKEU running through, taking control of this Snake compound here, and they are going to pretty much just wipe the floor with WC. There was some great mechanics and just unfortunate plays there for WC.
Yeah, it didn't start off well, but you have to query the crash. Caught in between the two players, essentially the 4 players, even 2 there, 2 on the north of the road. Not ideal. Maybe should have looked to play maybe where Genesis are now. The scouting not really ideal at all for WC, and really do pay the price for that.
It's all about, it's about the scout. I think Mikey Benno said in chat here, where's the scout?
Yeah.
Benno, you get back on WC, man. They need you, dude. Like, get the scout out. I mean, get the comms going here. These guys need to have Benno, obviously, in their headset, joining this WC party again.
Yeah, I think you're right. Something has to change a little bit here, whether it's roster changes or just really cementing those roles. Luca does often seem to be the one first out on that bike, but not really working that time. Maybe lack of vehicles, who knows? But it certainly has not been their week so far. But they still have time. They could still qualify, with 2 more days still looming if things continue to go this way.
There is opportunity. If I'm WC, I'm going to enjoy the rest of today. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to come back with a fresh mentality tomorrow. I mean, there's just some L's you got to take right here in order to set yourself up for a dub. When you're that much inside your head and you've had that bad of a day, you got to do something to reset. Maybe, do something for the team tonight, team comms, do some marbles, some words with friends, anything, get something to build team cohesiveness and to put you guys back in good spirits. And then we'll see the WC that we get in match number 3 yesterday.
Yeah, you can't let it get to you, can you? You've just got to ride the storm and just carry on. Dubhub EU miles out in the blue, actually. Skokic just picking up the vehicle. He's got BHE and EXH on that north side as well. Dill has managed to sneak his way past EXH, and actually might just time this really well with BHE now making their rotate in. Haven't seen much from them, unfortunately. So far been a bit caught out with the shifts, but now making themselves up onto this hillside, knowing that no one is really going to come in behind them. Could be a really good spot for them with that zone shifting, and surely this is going to be a farm kind of field finish.
So we said farm may not be the best place to go, but we do see two teams now inside again. Once you know it's going to farm, okay, definitely a good place to be. But starting off, you're not going to want to take that farm in order to have to rotate out and then have to pretty much be selective of where you'll end up here. So it's going to be K7, NE. We should see a potential farm finish, and I'm expecting it to pretty much finish on the western side of that farm. And at that point, that's going to give good position to Gen, RMV, K7, NE, all in a nice, solid position here. Further and further, we're starting to eliminate that water. This phase 4 should take out the remainder of that water, keeping most of these teams still here in play aside from BHE, EXH, and teams like QP who still have not made themselves inside this next phase. So big moves need to be made here. We usually see a lot of teams start to fall here in this next zone, and I think that's just going to be a similar fashion here as teams really have nowhere else to go come phase 4.
That hillside is not looking great. QP, EXH, BHE, we can see them all lined up along the hill. Surely we can't see, you're going to have one team coming out of here at least. QP instantly going to send it down the hill, actually just going to backfill into Genesis, who've actually moved into the Wizard Hut, and I actually really like this play. Usually you go four alive in a Wizard Hut, all on the bottom floor really. Phase 3, probably not what you want to be doing, but with this zone, with the space they have around them, I really like this. I really like this play. It's hard to get walked up on, and with that shift there, they've set themselves up really nicely to avoid those farm fights and maybe scab a few kills from the north here.
The funny part is, like I said, these guys are all, they're all looking in that general direction here.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody spotted him from the back. Actually, I think that's RMV. May have seen a window open here and have actually managed to hit some shots here onto MES here. You got 3 individual players lying on the bottom floor. This is kind of scary for anybody to walk into. Imagine if we all had some clown costumes or something. This is like old school PUBG. And you walk into the room, there's 3 clowns with the pan out, bobbing back and forth. And
brilliant.
This is Genesis here in the Wizard Tower, bringing it into CoR right here, having a little bit of fun, and let's see if they can maintain some points with that.
Yeah, surely they can do something here. EXH have made the shift down, and this looks like it could be the end of the line for them. DH and BHE testing in the north. With the smokes out, actually, might be able to do something here. Looks like they're going to get the res onto Tweak, keeping that numbers advantage on QP, but QP are just so fully focused this way. And Skyline, got to be careful of them in the back lines as they're maybe looking to find a few points from these fights as well.
Ooh, B-More just looked at that grenade. Nowhere to go, nothing he can do. Molotovs raining in, grenades to follow. Dubhub comes in for the cleanup, but there's Nada. Sneaking in from the back, he's going to find one, goes for the thirst, and he's going to get it. Still will fall right there. Nada coming in from the side, may be able to find Skoka and save B. No, he's on the bike. He's going to say, we'll just play for points. This is, a respectful and, maybe not the most encouraging play for BHE, but when you haven't found any points, there's still 13 teams up, 45 players. Oh, yep, nope, not where you want to go. BHE drives right into Genesis, the 4-man shooting squad, who's just, yep, they knew it was going to happen. They knew it was coming, and there's one for Genesis.
Oh, it's fantastic. They pop the door open, 2 jump out, spray in, get the loot, get straight back in. You love to see it indeed. Not much Nata could do in that situation apart from that, really, and opting to play there's not a bad idea, but everything is pretty much taken here. CoR have made the shift in just outside of farm into the north. Torch have made a shift as well as QP actually get wiped between Skyline and EXH by the looks of things, so points shared there, but now the fight is just continuing. Tweak just leading the charge here up onto Skyline. Hacker and Shane doing all they can to fend off these players with their back to the blue here.
EXH beds will fall there now as Shane finds another knock. Shane has been doing some work here for SKEU tonight. Hacker as well, 3 kills on the board. Shane cleared up a grenade, also going to eat one in the face for Tweak. Tweak nicely placed nade, sticks still to hold the barrel, tries to spend and get his spray on the Tweak, the last remaining member of EXH, but he's got some ridge and a little bit of tree line to use for cover for right now. Shane trying to crawl outside that blue in order to get picked up for res, but that blue phase 5 damage just going to tank too much. Takes him down and will give the kill over to EXH. Skosic just lying in wait there. He's got a VSS. Can he find one of the SKEU members or maybe even Tweak here just lying in wait, waiting for SKEU to peek up over the top? In the meantime, we've lost this fight with Torch and NE. Torch was able to maintain position inside farm, taking over 2 of the members for NE. And then we do lose Tweak there to SKEU. That's EXH, our top team. Here in second, going to go down and out there in 11th place. Still one game to come. We have 10 teams remaining here in the third match of the night. There is still a lot of action and chaos to come.
There is indeed. RMV and K7 CE as well. Very quiet on this south side up until now. I've got a nice little spot in the zone. CoR have made the shift into the other NE members, and I wonder if Torch is looking to try and capitalise onto this fight. The smokes are out, but CoR has Gav cleaning that up really nicely on the cross. Ollie taking a lot of shots. Got to be careful he doesn't lose his life. He does, I think. And Nebo surely going to confirm that one indeed. And meanwhile, on the western side, Skokic, he's still alive. He was out in the blue for ages. He's just cleaned up the last members of Skyline, but can he find anything here? Is there anywhere in this zone you can really realistically play into now?
Hello, CoR with the team plays. They smoke Ollie out, carry him inside the building.
No, have they?
CoR, shout out. That was respect right there. No man left behind. Semper Fi Marine. There it is. Ollie back on his feet inside. A little bit of body blocking going on there. CoR, there it is. That's what I like to see right there. CoR values. How about that? That's what we're going to call that.
Absolutely. That's what we're all about over here for sure. And yeah, they do find Skokic in the place as well. So, Karma getting that kill as well. Good stuff for them. Torch have really shifted out of here. There's a nice little eastern shift to get themselves away from these engagements. It is a tricky one as well, as they are laying down some shots. They have a little bit of a hillside to work with there, of course, with their back to the blue already. And TSS, we haven't even really mentioned them this game. 3 strong still, with this hillside to work with. Now looking to try and move in on RMV, who have now centered up. 4 strong in such a strong position now.
Surprisingly enough, with 7 teams still up, everybody's kind of has their own positioning for right now. Ooh, excuse me, Busta. And we'll have to see how this next phase does play into position here. I expect, again, that shift more towards Genesis and RMV here. The way that this circle's kind of been playing itself on one another here. And this is going to definitely give some help here towards RMV, who needs these points to catch up to EXH, needs these points to catch up to TSS. And it's unfortunate that Droid just mentioned that TSS, yes, is still up 3 strong, and they had 3 kills going into the late game, ended up with 13. So it's even though they still had a quiet game to start up here on Intergale, it's not over, and it's not inevitable that they won't end up with another 13-point game here.
No, for sure. No, it's certainly possible. And you look at the pedigree of teams left in here. We're talking about 3-4 strong for every pretty much team here. CE, did they lose one? I think they did. Torch 3 strong as well, going to look to fill that. So that's just going to keep these teams preoccupied. Polly doing all he can to just disrupt these areas in the south side, and RMV the only team other than that really inside, and it's all between this 3-way engagement. K7, CoR, and Genesis. CoR out on the move. They're being a little bit more proactive here, with obviously K7 not having quite as far to go, but they probably can pull into that hillside, but you've got to be wary then of those teams on your south that we mentioned.
It's very, very, very scary situation here for RMV. The fact is they have the only hard cover in the building.
Yeah.
Sorry, in the zone, aside from CE, but CE knows eventually that's going to get shifted out here. So it's RMV just hoping that nobody decides to make this crash. And if they can just maintain position, everybody else should pretty much do the damage around the outside, and they can pick up a few scabs, a few cleanups here and there. But it's TSS who's slowly but surely creeping their way up behind RMV's doorstep here. And if they come and knock in here, Genesis will easily walk in on that fight as well, with the zone doing damage here as the Wizard Tower finally pushed out. Genesis left with nowhere to go. Knock for knock, everybody just falling here left for right. It's Game Boy left up on his feet, but CoR sees the opportunity, knows there's just one member, and needs to close this fight out. The smoke's starting to deplete. Ollie does get the visual. The knock comes through for both. Sody and Ollie pick up 2 kills here on the Genesis, giving us just 6 teams remaining, as now Ollie dancing, weaving, makes his way to the rock, avoids the shot for RMV. and needs to now maybe take the fight towards K7, as that seems to be who has angles and who has eyes for now.
How has he made it in there? You know, K7 looking this way. Managing to get their reses on as well, playing very smart indeed. Torch jumped ahead of CE, but they have to be careful because the nades from Wheelix are going to come out straight onto them. Mushu gets found by the first one, and the second one straight onto Ghost by... Oh, that is a flash, luckily for them, but you know, the utility is perfect. The smokes are straight out, and CE probably going to look to engage, but everyone now ganging up on CoR as they are so disconnected. Fudex leading the charge in this push with the nade in hand as well. This could be massive if it hits, and it doesn't look far off at all. Just a little bit too far.
Yeah, it was a close one. That was a nicely tossed nade, and again, the nade damage is not anything like it used to be, as we all know, Chad, so sometimes you get that second opportunity, but still not enough, as RMV K7 just give CoR no opportunity here. Again, the teamwork does come through. They stay 4 strong, but 4 strong is not as strong as 8 strong when you have everybody and their mama looking to take you out here of the lobby. 5 teams remain still strong. 4 for RMV, 4 for K7, 3 for Torch, 3 for CE, and then we even got 3 for TSS. This is not a weak or an easy lobby by any means. One of the strongest end game finishes I think we've had so far, Droid.
Yeah, I'd absolutely agree with you there. You know, any of these teams could really capitalize on this. Torch, if they can ride this storm. CE very preoccupied. Of course, you do have TSS on the left here, as we said, really confining CE to this compound, and Torch are just laughing. But K7 are absolutely loving this as well. Cleared out this north side, as we see. Now have a bit of room to work with as well, and teams recognizing that maybe they have a bit more space to work with now. Linkadoc's repositioning his vehicle as well, just providing a little bit of hard cover on this western side. The shift imminent here. Torch just popping up, making themselves known. Fizz, he's had a nade this whole time. He's been hanging on to it. It could be lovely if it goes through the door. It looks spot on onto Peak. A little bit of damage, but the spray coming through finds the knock indeed, and that has really slowed CE down now, you would think.
You would think, but you know, we can't count them out just yet. We've seen some surprising plays, to say the least here, Droid, so we'll have to see what's in store. There's enough smoke there that I think Snoop Dogg could take an invitation here, so we'll see what does decide to happen here. CE does get the res. Peak is going to toss some more smoke out there, or actually I think that one might be a frag finally, trying to find some damage here and delay a push inevitably from Torch, as these nades not find him. Host Ghost waiting there with the barrel. 8 shots in, finds the knock, goes for scrub. 9 still in the chamber, and E is going to find, no, that's Ben Ems from afar over the top of Ghost, is going to find that second knock. Palinho will steal the kill there onto Wheelix, as TSS realizes, hey, we got 2, it's time to get 13, let's start to come alive.
Here they come, and RMV recognizing that these teams all around them are picking each other off. They need to get involved, they need to get some more points. 5, I think, on the board already, 6 maybe, but you know, they want as many as they can get. They want to solidify their position in this game. They can, and Torch, here comes Peak. Surely he's going to be spotted. Mushu pipes up, finds him. 3 kills on the board, and we saw what Torch did as a 2-man in game number 1. They're continuing the reign of terror now, and we are down to our top 4 teams. And they're not done yet.
I'll say definitely not done, definitely not even close to being done here. I mean, we've got still so much anticipation from these teams, so much aggression, and K7, this is their first time tonight. They've been inside the end game. We've been talking highly about them. This is the K7 I think we've been waiting to showcase. The K7 we all know is not only for the gun skill, but for the IQs and being able to manipulate the circle in their favor here. As first they overtake CoR, beating them inside that zone. Now making their way here on the backside of RMV, still avoiding Torch here. It's just good moves here. Again, open field plays. It doesn't always come down to gun skill. This is that IQ play here, because again, you can be the best shooter in the world, but if you're shooting at someone here to the left and you've given angles here to your right, that's an instant drop. These players do not miss given the chance.
No, you're completely right, and with that zone shift as well, it's going to force Torch and K7 surely into a position here. RMV have to be careful, because if all these teams decide, you know, let's rain some utility, make a mini red zone in the center position, you know, play up onto these walls, RMV could be in trouble. But I like the split they've got here. JB, even in the shack, you know, how often do you see teams really just send it in and look for position like a little shack there? But you're seeing the engagements on the outside already. Maybe they won't even make it to the compound at this stage.
Mushu is going to find the knock here onto Kiza. They've got to be very, very careful getting this res. Mushu is just waiting for this to happen. Oh, he's actually going to grab some fresh gear, trying to take what he can here left from the crate is going to take the remainder of his 3 gear. It's pretty much beaten and bruised at this point, but it's better than what he had. Takes the nade, spotted out by CodeRed. Honestly, probably would have rather tossed it inside the smoke to confirm Kizza. But you know what? He's going to just try to maybe go for the power 3 play here and try to take all 3 down. But there's still 3 Torch members up. Mushu, no need to take this fight by yourself. Yep, regroup with the boys there, reset, and then refocus the fight here. You still have 2 teams ahead with RMV and TSS. There is just numbers, numbers, numbers. You got to be very, very careful how you take the fight here, and you really need to be playing as a team here. You can't get caught out as a solo in these close proximities, phase 8 to phase 9. To have this many teams still this full is absolutely amazing.
It is indeed, and we're going to the dot once again. RMV with the prime position, the smoke's already out, and this is when you see the line of sight being obscured. TSS being very quiet, just letting these fights break out. It looks like K7 maybe realizing this and are going to opt to try and play round into TSS's position, using those smokes to benefit themselves. But look how much they've been saving up. This could be a white zone, not a red zone.
I will definitely take a little bit of a difference here. Here comes the smoke. This time we'll call in Wiz. Snoop already got the invitation. Wiz here to the party here as nades come through. Jimbo's going to go fall down right there. Ghost on the approach. Needs to spot Link inside that smoke. Ooh, he's going to get the res. Link feeling it right now. That smoke will deplete. Still sticking the res. Torch just... Hello? Oh what was that? That was almost destruction for Torch there, but you know, thankfully Mushu and Fizz able to, you know, regain composure there, take down TSS after the res does come through. Now to fight with RMV, but at the same time, K7 has made their way. Nades toss, Ben M's to fall, Mushu to find Tiro. There is just knock for knock coming through. Mushu peeking his way out. Droid, this is absolute chaos.
This is disgusting. It's fallen apart a little bit from RMV. They're down to 1 each here. K7 going to get that res as Tyro just absolutely ate that nade on his foot. Ghost is looking through the window. He's sat right in the middle of the compound here. This is a risky play indeed. I don't know. Maybe they think they've cleared out Pammy here. Pammy could be looking for the res, but is on fire. So surely, yeah, he's going to go down as well. Just leaves one there. K7 going to find that one, but do they know where that has come through? Torch, do they have the intel that they are now cleared? Doesn't matter because RMV are down and out, and it's a 3 versus 3 for the final here now.
K7, man. Oh, man. Walking up into this house, using the timing. They are going to find one. Ghost shots on the top of the roof here. IQ 300 finds one. Fizz finds the second. Inside the building is the third, and Ghost there to pick that one up. QDex to go down. Ghost 300 IQ play for the victory.
Brilliant play to get on the roof there and really just disrupt K7's flow there. Just got the rest of his team round, and a fantastic work as a 3-man for pretty much all of those engagement towards the end there. So GG's really indeed, you know, fantastic work from Torch. Torch and K7, they were contesting that sort of northeast side, weren't they? Almost left each other, rotated around the other way, but they did find each other in the end, and Torch coming out on top there.
Well played from our team Torch there. Again, now we've got some teams here just making their way. We've seen the 2-man of Torch here actually do their thing and put up 12 kills. Finally, Torch able to find that victory, able to finally nail home some points when it matters the most. We still have 1 game to close off the night here, and that middle of the leaderboard still ever so close. A 25-point game, which we've seen time and time again here in the comps, could definitely be the game changer for our next team here in match number 8.
It really could indeed. Looking at the leaderboard there, we're just waiting for that last game to go up as well, but you know, the teams on that right side of the leaderboard not doing too much. Catalyst potentially getting a few points there. Genesis as well. BHE well off unfortunately now, so we'll wait and see. We'll get that updated as soon as we can, but we will be back in just a few minutes with the 4th and final game of the upper bracket, so do not go anywhere. You don't want to miss this one. Final game indeed. Here we go, the fourth and final game of the day and of the upper bracket. It's come down to this. We're looking for that top 8. It's not over for all these teams. Of course, they will have Wednesday and Thursday, as we said, but let's see who is going to find that 8th spot, because as you mentioned, CC, it is looking very close going into this final game.
So close, Roy. Like I said, I have not seen a final this close in quite some time here. You know, and again, we're still with opportunity on Wednesday and Thursday, but to say the least, there is just so much happening right now for this community here. And you know, they see the opportunities. They see that it's grind time. Not only is there money to be made here, they know that the opportunity is opening the door in other places as well. So it's good to see that these teams are taking the time to grind. You know, even like we were saying, if you're not going to win, learn something. You know, grow, find something that you can pick up on, pick a drop spot, challenge a team, and you know, use this last game as potential for success in the future.
I completely agree. We saw, you know, top 64, top 32. So many of these teams who maybe haven't played at this level, certainly, you know, at the top level, can really take away so much from this. And it is just a learning experience. That's how you've got to see it. Fair enough. Sometimes, you know, you come out after 4 games absolutely defeated, 2 points all night, and you know, really struggle to get anything done. But yeah, it's hard to not be annoyed. But yeah, if you can learn from that, you know, that's how all these teams have made it this far, by, you know, just learning from each other and just improving their craft.
Real different shot here. So we got CoR on a Novo drop, actually with K7 here.
Yeah, we do see this a fair bit, to be fair. They do like to come down this way. If the plane is kind of over this way, or up in Severny. So yeah, not uncommon for all them. K7, you know, they're kind of neighbours when they want to be. Ollie taking this position, maybe thinking that the zone was going to go this way, because we know how quickly K7 like to rotate to the top of the hill if it does shift this way. But looks like our first engagement is going to be BMOR and EXH, actually needing some points desperately here. EXH, of course, not quite so much, but BMOR probably going to try and look for this, but he's got to be careful, because 3-on-1 is not ideal, especially in the form EXH find themselves in.
Exactly. It is a rare form for EXH here, but they are doing absolutely fantastic holding angles here. Nada does have an outside angle. Unfortunately for BMOR, does find the first knock. The res is already through. Even if he finds another knock, EXH is playing this slow enough here that they're not over-aggressive. They wait for the res to come through in order to make this next push. And there's just not enough help. Oh, there's Cliff. Cliff finally making the appearance here, but there just hasn't been enough help in time here for BMOR. So BMOR's having to try to fend off 3 EXH members by himself. Doing an excellent job here thus far.
Yeah.
But again, if help doesn't come in from EXH, BMOR just has his work cut out for him. And again, you can only expect so much for each individual player.
Yeah, it's a tricky one indeed to try and get out of this situation that he's now found himself in. Nata from the top of the hill is raining some shots, but he's got Benz pushing up on him, so the final member from EXH is still involved in this from long range as well. He's oh, BMOR's out. I completely missed that. Absolutely sent out of this position as well. And Ben's taking shots from Nata. Fantastic work from him, just to make sure that, you know, just allow time for his teammate to get away. He spotted him with the iron sight. Low tags coming out and clipped.
And you cheeky man. Oh, the sound cue does come through. Is it in time for Nada? No. Benz was sitting there in wait, creeping his way up that hill, watching Nada take those shots. And again, great shots from Nada, great anchor. He saves BMOR, and that's the only reason that they will get out of that position. But unfortunately, with nobody to kind of back him up, he's able to get walked right up on, and that's one more kill in the bag here for EXH.
Saying that, BHE have just pulled back to the hill, but you know, you have to commend Benz there, walking up with, you know, the iron sight on the barrel, excuse me. You know, so often you see teams, you know, waiting for the call out, waiting for your team to come and help you. Unfortunately, sometimes you see them still looting, just wanting that bit more loot before they feel confident. But you know, this is what you want to see from the team: the commitment to that push, to crash, to really just support your team now. And you know, it's really benefited EXH here, keeping all 4 alive and getting that initial kill as well. And he's clearly made himself known there. Who's going to find who? Cliff does return onto him. Zen King in the backlines as well. Probably going to make sure that is confirmed. But EXH, you know, up until now playing really well.
Good teamwork there from BHE. That should have been right off the rip. Had Zen King been involved in the fight sooner, BHE maybe would have come out of this actually on top here. But there's Bence inside the vehicle here. He's going to make his way up towards the top of the hill. Actually, 2 EXH members, Bence and Marco here. So now it's a 2v2 here at the top side of the hill. They do leave Marco down towards the bottom, and that could be a mistake here with now 3 members for BHA and 2 for EXH. Be more to find one more. Ben's just trying to return the favor here towards the top, and again, you've left 1 player down. You should have took all 3 up in order to take the fight and close this out with BHE. Now you're taking this fight pretty much, you know, with 1 leg down, 1 leg or 1 arm tied behind your back, and that's just not how you want to start these things. Be more will confirm tweak, and now they're just looking for the remainder of these 2 EXH members. Marco, the only thing that could be a key factor is, again, much like Ben's, he's on foot, he's quiet, he's silent. Nobody knows he's coming until the shots start to ring out. Is he going to be in a position to benefit Benz before Bmore and Zen can come up over the top of this hill?
Yeah, completely agree. You're looking at Cliff's position here. He's backed off. He's playing so low, and you know they cannot afford to lose Bmore here. He's playing super aggressive. He's only got a few rounds left. No, sorry, he did. He's obviously looted some off the body there by looks of things. Only had 21 rounds when I last looked. Taking a chunk of damage as well. Both teams kind of looking for that rotate. It looks like Bent has found Cliff down the bottom there, so that is a huge one as well. Zenking a little bit backed off as well as Bmore is found as well. It's all on Zenking to do something now. Bent with the smoke. He is going to get returned, but Marco, can he find it? Can he get the medal?
Oh, BHE will go down. I had so much hope. They look so good there, Droid.
Yeah, God, either team really could have come out as a 4-man or absolutely, you know, shit the bricks. Unfortunately, BHE, they did really well in that. There's not much more they could do, unfortunately, for them. But, you know, finding 2 points isn't bad at all. You know, I'm sure they'll take that. And as you said, it is a learning curve. They did very well in the qualifiers, but maybe a little bit a step too far just at the moment. But we'll see them back on Wednesday, and you know they're going to bring it. You know they're going to be wanting it more than ever.
And EXH, like I said, again, they challenged a good team right there, right? That's one of our top teams here in this lobby. So, again, that is definitely a way to end. If you're going to end anywhere, that fight was literally a few shots, a few bullets from your barrel from being won right there. So take that as almost W right there, at least as a learning point right there. You put EXH down to 2. You know, you got a chance to fight some really great players, put some IQ, and you watch that back, learn from the mistakes there, and come back here for Wednesday, Thursday with the reset, much like the rest of these teams. QP, though, setting up for the bridge block. They've got K7, Anto down and out the vehicle. I think that's all they'll get, but they do set up the information. They're trying to gather some sort of kills here from the gas station.
Yeah, and they are getting back onto this. I'll tell you what, let's see if we can get some comms on this, because it looks like they have pulled up on this a little bit. Bear with us 1 second. Let's see if we can jump in and hear what they are saying.
One's running out in the open.
Where is AATR now?
No idea, mate. How many's on gas? 1 or 2?
2 at least.
Seems I don't know if you can count them. Nice.
Nice. I'm gonna try Red Santa.
Who is that on? Who's got a knock there?
On me. Gas is gonna just focus me now. Is in gas looking at me? Maybe not. I'm gonna get stacked now. That's the only issue. There's at least 2 on me.
And 2 on us.
If you boys can push them like together.
I don't know where are they exactly.
They're both.
How
These
many
2 are
on
both.
gas?
One's near the shack, no?
There's 2 on me, so it's only 2 on you boys. If you can like 3v2 them. I'm gonna try escape because I'm gonna get stacked in a sec.
He's nading, I think.
Be careful, don't get knocked from glass.
Yeah, I'm just lagging everywhere, mate. I'm lagging so bad. He's nading over this wall.
Let's do like this, Anta.
Nice.
I'm down.
I'm like,
You just fall down. Oh my god.
yes, bro. My player broke his legs.
There we are. A bit of a stalemate at the moment. Looks like both teams back up to 4 strong as well. But K7 clearly just taking their time, biding their time, working out who is involved in this split and where they are positioned. And you think, what are we going to see? Are we going to see them try and finish this off, or maybe try and leave this, cut their losses, and look elsewhere for the next fight?
Yeah, but again, that's stalemate. Now we finally have the crash here coming through with K7 making their appearance on the gas station. They're looking really, really good here as far as the control. They're not getting over aggressive. QP isn't also feeling too pressured. So again, they're not regrouping unnecessarily. They're just playing their angles, sticking their reds here, and it's a very slow-paced fight here with a potential victor. But that circle droid, do you see Pochinki centered up there? Maybe a potential for a city finish yet again.
Oh, please. Oh, I love a Pachinki finish. Anything on those hills on the south side as well or the east is just always a fantastic game with the trenches and the different terrain in play and teams clearly already on the move think of this. I'll be surprised if we don't see K7 maybe try and wrap away from this, but once these teams know they're safe, this is almost last game scrims, isn't it? Teams just trying things out when they know they're already secured their position here.
Yeah, and that's just it. Like I said, you've got some things here that you might not see, coming into tomorrow or Thursday. But, out of respect here, you've got to try it sometime. And you don't want to try it in the scrim. Scrim's not necessarily the place to try some of these things here. Because, again, mentality completely different. You have a full scale tourney here. So this is the chance to try some of the things here that, you've maybe been putting in the works here. You've got on the table, on the drawing board, and you're like, this could work. This is a decent idea. And, let's put it to the test here today, and let's see if it does work. And teams like that are teams, like I said, that are going to be in this for a long time, are going to be adaptable, and are going to be a force to be reckoned with here in the near future. Yeah,
absolutely. And it looks like, obviously, we've got a few teams in chat listening to you mention Pachinki there, because we've already got 3 teams centered up in there. CE were thinking about it. Unfortunately, flipping the vehicle, and Greggy is found getting rained on from top of the hill. Not too sure who that is at the top there. Is that WC? It is, of course. They could have done with that point for sure. Scrub's out as well. This is a brave res, but unfortunately, needs to try and get away from this as quick as he can. Wheelix has lost his life as well on the push as well as TSS, or the 2 members. And this is a crazy split from TSS, actually. I don't know if this is exactly what they want to do, but 2 in Pachinki, 2 on that south side could work out for them, but it's a long way to go in the game just yet, and it's not as if you can really get over there and support the rest of your team.
Long game indeed. 12 seconds only on the board, still 52 players up, and CE will lose, like you said, 2 on that rotation. If I'm Scrub, though, I was watching him kind of make his moves here. He's, the car's flipped over. That's free cover. I'm inside the car until that thing blows up. I'll sit in there, but I'll wait. We're going to call, the turtle movement here, and we'll make that happen. But you usually get found out right there. CE tries to make the attempt, much like the other 3 teams inside Pochinki, in order to hold that down. But in the meantime, K7 didn't opt to rotate away, held the fight with QP, and that's going to be a QP down and out with just a knock in return for Tiro.
Yeah, QP, hats off to K7, of course. That QP did make it extremely hard by the looks of things. They weren't really committing too much to that, just holding their positions, almost waiting for K7 to push, and they really bided their time and made that work. So yeah, hats off to K7, showing their pedigree there, that they can be patient. They are heavy shooters, but they know how to play these zones. They know how to play these teams and get the better of them. So hats off to them. Let's see where this zone wants to go. A couple of seconds, we are going to go again, and we're hoping for that northern shift. I'm sure you are as well now.
Let's see it comes through. It's not the worst. It's not the worst. We've even got the hills outside, so we do have that potential east side Pochinki finish still, Droid. I mean, it's there.
It is. It definitely is. Don't ride it out yet. And you wonder how these teams are going to play. Skylynx has to be careful as he's making the push straight into Genesis. It's like the Public's in here, running all over the place in Pachinki, and he's going to lose his life. Game Boy catches him on the cross. Skyline making themselves known now up in the top there. He's got the shotty, not quite yet. Maybe saving that a bit later on. Rain some shots down onto Sticks. Don't know how he didn't meet his maker there, but the nade is going to come out. I don't know if he's going to... Oh, it's just banked off the wall. Just keeping himself alive there. So Skyline just holding on. But you wonder if teams are now going to look to try and pull out Pachinki, because all these teams on the east are on the shift already, and they are looking for a better position. WC and NE leading the charge here.
Some very wonky bounces here, and somehow Sticks is maintaining through the smoke. Oh, there it is. The Molotov finally catches him. The first aid just a little too slow. I'd say he had less than a second left to pull that first aid off before the Molotov does do the damage here. Then they're going to walk through to find Sticks there, and still no support coming out from Shane, as Shane's kind of in a battle across the way with the rest of Genesis here. They've lost now 2, just pretty much again, like you were saying, playing this like a public, running through Pochinki like these teams can't shoot, but easy enough here. Genesis just making light work. Great utility use, great teamwork here. The pushes coming out from Genesis are on point, and there's Bliv, another 1v1, winning that against Shane. He's going to take him down, confirm that kill right there, leaving just one member left up, and that's going to be Hacker.
Yeah, I think Hacker's going to cut his losses, get out of there, isn't he? There's no chance, no point really fighting for this. We can pull up the leaderboard, I think. We should have a quick check. Yeah, we are there with 7 games in, so Skyline, we can see, wow, they're level. Look, 8th, WC have shifted up, but QP, WC, Dubhub, and Skyline all on 35. 4 teams vying for 2 spots here, and WC and QP, of course, QP gone out, so, you know, Skyline, have they picked up a point? They've found 2 already, so they've already jumped up. So QP, I think that's going to be them out, unfortunately. Going to be playing Wednesday and Thursday, but WC, Dubhub, and Skyline, they're going to be the teams we're going to be focusing on. CE as well, but of course down to 1. Surely they can't get too much done in this game now.
That would be the most legendary game coming out from Peak if he were to put his team into position. Well, one man doing the job. He's gonna. He only needs 7 points. I mean, then he's gonna have to outbeat Dubhub and SKEU. But if you do that, Peak, talk about good numbers. If you want to talk about a free agent, you might want to re-sign your contracts. You know.
Oh, let's see. Let's see what he's got left in the tank. We do have a nice shift. Oh, and you did call it, and it is going to shift back to Pochinki, keeping a lot of it in that hillside. Going to condense some of these teams. Hacker is off, though, and he's actually just rotated round past Church. Got themselves a nice position, but this surely is going to be a hot area come the next zone or 2.
We should see some full sends coming out from some of these outer teams. CoR, Dig, K7, WC, Torch. All they need to find a position inside the zone, and there's only 3 hill spots. One already taken by NE here, so it's definitely going to come down to who plays where, who makes moves first here. As K7's already inside the vehicles, full sending it towards New Era. New Era is opening up the door, takes a few shots, does the damage, not able to find the knock. As QDEX continues to pull forward, this now opens the door for CoR. Ali isn't going to play no games, takes that and finds the knock, but unfortunately Chiro with the drive-by, the wrong focus there for Ali. Nothing in regards to him, but Chiro does manage to find that knock. K7 now out of the vehicle, the second vehicle, trying to find the last few knocks here on the CoR, but Pures from the top finds another knock. Just pretty much third party now, CoR, which seems to be their demise today. They can't seem to be in their own fights. Anytime they get into a fight with one team, there's another team there to pretty much take shots at their back. So it's unfortunate for CoR here that they just cannot seem to take a fair, 4v4 fight.
No, it's not been, but, they had a good first day, didn't they? So you're not too worried at the moment. Sutty coming at the angle there, trying to support his teammate. We're going to see a bit of a backfill from Dig, the last 2 members there. Gav is found, and it's surely going to get flushed unless he's quick. QDEX going to get the flush on him just to deny that intel being sent back. WC, we're going to keep eyes on them in a little bit as well. Here comes Kazoo, though. He's going to find Sutty, taking him down, but down to 1 HP himself. Has to be careful with Velton, his teammate, losing his life just inside the zone. But yeah, Torch down to 1 member, and WC, this is a bit of an entry point for them as that zone is really starting to shrink now.
There it is, man. Dig, CoR, both take it out on the outskirts. No place to go. K7 does buy their way in, fighting against those 2 teams here, avoiding the fight here with New Era, and then waiting to see 20 Squad Gaming there at the compound just off the ridge. 3 teams find their home inside of Pochinki with Peak, Genesis, as well as the solo SKEU Hacker. 2 solo players in Pochinki, the full force of Dubhub, praying at church that they need this game, praying that they are going to make their way into this next zone. They are spending some time talking to the Lord here, and let's see if it does pay off for Dubhub.
Yeah, it's a good little push up to the hill here. You're not probably going to see too much with ROV filling into the farm area, or certainly going to be looking for that farm area, although EXH make themselves known on that hillside. Ghosts, can he take this 1v4? He's looking towards the WC. If he finds one, it could really upset him. Just want to keep the CoR alive here. He's going to find dynamics. The nade's going to come straight back his way instantly with the reposition. He's lost his helmet already. Be careful indeed. Puts out shots, but Cocky confirms that one nice and clean indeed. And WC do live to fight another day. 3 kills on the board, and they are now confirming that spot, jumping up to 7th, I think, with that and are not going to go down without a fight. They want to be in that top half, and surely that's going to be enough now.
WC Ghost wins that.
True.
I don't know about, Torch Ghost is great. WC Ghost, old WC Ghost wins that.
Can't beat him. Absolutely.
Here it is, though. RMV trying to find their way in. EXH doing some damage here onto JB as he did try to line himself up with some smoke to get that res, but bench just too quick with the Mini 14, allowing Takashi at least some room in. RMV has a lot of work still to be done to find their way inside this next zone. Takashi will have to be the one to pay the price to buy their way in here if RMV wants the chance, and it looks like he's holding the angle for now as Ben Ems is getting a chance to take shots on the Benz, but Ben's not going down without a fight. Good shots from the Mini 14, lands the final shot, and then now gets actually shot in the back by Luca. WC starting to get third-party angles on the Benz and Marco here, as this gives Takashi every chance he needs to find the knock on to Benz and maybe pull back to get this reset res on Ben Ems.
Yeah, the molly spot on as well, just to confirm that kill as quickly as he can. Marco putting the util back in, but it's not going to be enough from that angle. Unfortunately, Pammy in the back lines has Dubhub to contend with, because they've just jumped ahead of this and unfortunately can't get the angles just yet, but you have to feel whoever comes out alive on top of this fight is going to have to run straight into either WC or Dubhub, and that is a terrifying prospect here.
Absolutely, and your shout out to Dubhub's move right there. If they win this game, that is the reason why right there. That shift and the timing of that shift was just so perfect and so, flawless. There was nothing. RMV's caught off guard. EXH forfeit the compound just to take the fight with RMV. That was just executed so nicely from Dubhub. I'd like to see them now maintain position and still make plays here on to bigger and better things here. But again, that's all for the PUBG world to decide. Can they hit their shots? Is it going to be there, or does RMV have the passion and the progression take down Dubhub here? Again, we know they have the talent. It's all going to come down to now who is going to take that timing into consideration yet again here, moving towards phase 6.
Yeah, Marco just making it so difficult here, just biding his time, just hiding in the smokes. Knows that they have enough points on the board, really. Not too worried about this at all. And they're just going to wait this out as long as he can. WC, of course, still raining shots this way. I don't know if they can see the smokes or not, but yeah, he has made it through. Medded up, but takes Ben Ems down, and the zone is going to chunk him as well, unfortunately. And with the speed that goes, they're going to have to be really quick if they want that. But this is where Dubhub start to find these points. Surely RMV have nowhere to go here, especially with that zone shift.
Centered up right outside Pochinki. We don't, unfortunately, get even the chopstick finish, but you know what? We'll take it. This is still going to put the pressure on with 9 teams remaining. There's only about room for 4 teams inside this next zone, so let's catch our breath now, take some wind. There's going to be shot for shot, bodies dropping left and right in this next phase shift, because phase 6 for phase 7 for an open field zone with next to nothing but cornfields. It's not looking good for anybody but Dubhub right now, who's the only one who's got themselves a nice compound here with some walls, a little bit of cover and some opportunity. But the rest of these teams are really going to work themselves for this next change.
Oh God, this could be a bit of an upset for WC though. They lose 1 there, lose 2, and just like that, it's just down to Dynamics. TSS have backfilled into NE, who are pushing this way, and Dynamics needs to get these reses off as quickly as he can, because they were just so preoccupied with TSS, they just left NE New Era to just do their own thing, and it's really upset their game here. K7 going to be moving in position, but we're going to go back over to the north because Genesis have made the push in. 3 into this building. Dubhub have their work cut out. CCExclusives off the roof looking for a different angle. This could be really smart into this back room. He's going to find one. Is he going to find the second one as well? That is fantastic. Oh my God, CCExclusives.
GG's. That was a well-placed push from Skosik to come through the window like that. Genesis does everything they can to hard crash, and that's sometimes why you don't all go to the same position, right? Utilities, and again, just having that outside angle from one player. Skosik rips the rug from underneath, and WC does fall short there to the top as trying to reset after the fight a little bit earlier on, just not able to do so. Dynamic can't get the reses in time, does manage to knock 2 of TSS, but again, only so much you can do after resetting a fight moments before.
Yeah, you have to think WC surely have done enough. They are in 8th coming into this game, and I think they will continue to hold that position. But Dubhub are the team they're worried about now, because if they can just get a few more points, they will really secure their spot as well. 6 on the board as well, down to the top 5 teams. So fantastic work from them. I think that's 3 points as well going their way. So yeah, for now they know where Peak is by the looks of things as well. Got a rough idea of that member over there. If 1 kill on the board, 4 points for Peak potentially. You said 7 points is what they needed. Unfortunately for him, these other teams have just been continuing to pick up points to keep this tight. And I don't know if he has much. He does got a body there to loot. Got 5 smokes to his name. You've just got to really hope that these teams can take chunks out of each other and you can jump ahead of them. But you look at the south side, Anto and Kiz are both kind of in and around this area. It's not going to be an easy fight for him at all, is it?
Yeah, that's on fire. They are pushing. Oh my, that push was just perfect. They line RMV up. They wait till they see all 3 in vision and then just start raining shots down onto RMV right there. Could not have been more perfected there. We've seen some excellent gameplay in this last match here. I mean, as far as the timing, the rotations, and this is just PUBG. This is exactly why I love to cast here. When I get to see play like this, that isn't just crash, die, let's go here, try this. This is some absolute, like, knowledgeable PUBG. Like, if you're a chatter out there and you're just watching the stream, if you haven't learned anything about playing PUBG and the gameplay, like, you're obviously not watching this game. This is IQ to its level right here on some console players here. So hats off to our players and to anybody participating in the event tonight. This has been fantastic to just be a part of.
It has indeed. I completely agree. It's great to see these games firsthand, isn't it? Getting able to, just look around and really getting into depth with how teams play. I'm certainly one for sometimes spending too long on a certain team just watching what they'd like to do, watch like how they play. But you've got to be thinking, we've got 8 more teams joining us from tomorrow. Are they in stream? Are they watching? This is a prime opportunity to just gain that bit more knowledge to really, work out who is going to be contesting your drops coming into tomorrow as Jimbo shoots Linker in the back there. Not too sure what's happening with TSS, but yeah, 8 more teams joining us. Can they carve a victory for themselves? But for now, let's focus on Dub Hub. That's the main team we're worried about here. Can they do enough? And Peak? No, unfortunately not. CE will be back on Wednesday. It's all on Dub Hub now to really confirm that spot.
It's Dub C or Dub Hub. One of these two is going to be inside the top 8. WC clinging to their chairs, hoping that Dub Hub does not get more points in this round, but 7 kills on the board and only 2 teams ahead of them. Dub Hub is looking good for the victory. They have still 2 more teams to beat out, and that knock on the Mustang does not spell success, as well as the following one on the Entels here. Dub Hub needs this game, but TSS, I'm telling you, man, they're just firing on all cylinders right now. Entels confirmed, Dill to fall, TSS just 1, 2, 3. The method to the madness is in play, and unfortunately, Dub Hub becoming victim of TSS here. Gonna leave the play up. Jimbo says, "Hey, we'll take K7 at the same time here, and let's turn the whole thing around. Let's just do what we need to do, and we'll close the game out. We'll end the day, not with 80 points, but with over 100 points if they take this chicken dinner home."
Yeah, this is really good stuff. The spin on K7, fantastic. And TSS just proven their worth here. There goes Skokik. He did find Q going down there, but surely this is going to be the dub if he can get the job done. One more shot. No one answer. Come on. Just re-pops out. Unfortunately, gets caught on the reload. Are we going to see a switch, or is he going to look for that? There
Jimbo
we go.
Just creeps up to take the final few shots. Gives him a little patter step and opens up with the red dot. What a fantastic way for TSS, and a 15 kill, another 25-point game from the 20 squad gamers. GG's, everybody.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Just mirroring their performance yesterday, that final game, getting that absolutely massive 25-point game. TSS as well. Bearing in mind, if I'm right in thinking, they signed up pretty much on the day, confirmed their team. I don't think they even had their tags made. This is, a completely sort of put together roster, but, just showing how good they are. Take nothing away from them at all. It's fantastic work, isn't it?
Yeah, and you find the right group of guys to play with, and this is just that. They've managed to all link up and hit shots. I mean, literally I'd be curious to see the comms inside the stream right here. They are just, one's looking here, the other's supporting here, one's firing here, the other's rotating here. I mean, it is literally just methodically thought out here. This is not just random good TSS gameplay. This is, play by play. This is, things that they probably practice in ranked, practice, again in scrims, practice in other competitions, and whatever it seems to be, whether it be they play ranked or they play just this competition. TSS. My hat's off to you.
Yeah, indeed. Fantastic work from them. But of course, we're going to get that leaderboard updated as soon as we can. I don't think we'll be able to show it on stream with that final game, but valiant effort from all these teams we've seen here. Valiant work indeed. I think QP might have just dropped off, and WC and DubHub will probably be the most likely teams filling that 7th and 8th spot there. So unlucky to Skyline and QP, but we will see them back as we mentioned on Wednesday. It's going to be. I think you're. That's you done for the couple of days. Is that right? I don't think you're joining us again for the rest of the week.
That'll be me joining. I might be lurking in chat for everybody here and participating, still supporting our EU boys here. But as far as the cast goes, that's probably going to tidy me up for the weekend, boys.
I have to say, it's been fantastic having you. And of course, if you want to see more CC, go check him out. Fellow streamer, fantastic caster as well. Going to be involved heavily in PCL, we do understand as well. So very much looking forward to that. And we will, of course, have you in next week for the grand finals. We're going to have a very good show with Zabu, of course, joining us from tomorrow as well to catch some more action as well. So yeah, fantastic lineup and some fantastic plays today. So thank you very much for watching. CC, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure casting with you, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
See you then.
Just run.